Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Are you worried about long-term injuries after an accident? I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Before you settle, know your rights and know your options. Visit justcallmo.com. Let's make sure you're covered. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Are you 62 or older and wondering if a reverse mortgage can help you access the equity in your home? It's so easy to get a free reverse mortgage quote with that mortgage guy, Don. Just fill out the online questionnaire at thatmortgageguyDon.com, or you can make an office appointment to meet in person at 1401 Town Plaza Court, Winter Springs, Florida. Happy Home Mortgage. NMLS ID 2418348.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit lifelock.com. That's lifelock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Lots to get to today, from Elon Musk goes rogue to a morbidly obese death row inmate's final meal, and the stock market roller coaster continues. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Good.
Not
bad at all.
How the heck are you?
Hanging in there. Here we are.
Beautiful
we got a lot
day.
to talk about today. It's a lovely day. Hopefully where you are, no matter where you're listening to the show today, we appreciate you being with us. And hopefully we'll have some fun here. Maybe yell a little bit. Maybe laugh a lot along the way. It's just how the world works these days. I don't dare even look at the stock market after the last week and a half or so.
I did a little peep this morning and purchase.
You bought something this morning? You're buying into the stocks?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but a share here or there. Why not?
No, I think
all
it's
the
smart.
other things in my portfolio are very sad and red.
Well, all you have to do is ask yourself one question, and that is, do you think this is the end? And if you don't, which obviously most people don't, it's ridiculous, then you think things are going to come back. And if things are going to come back, then buy stuff. Well, it's cheap, you know? That seems like a smart idea. I know it's painful
It helps
in the meantime.
economy. Or something.
Esta economía es un malo.
Oh,
is
muy
that close?
malo.
Muy malo?
Is that The Office?
Sí. No, it's just Spanish.
Espanol.
Oh, muy bien.
Just Spanish. All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go over to President Trump, who's talking about Adam Schiff, one of his favorite targets. He's not a
Shifty.
fan. Shifty Schiff. He doesn't like Adam Schiff. I don't know. He goes in on him. And I think Adam Schiff hates him, and I think they hate each other. It's just
Is it shift or Schiff?
Is it Schiff with two F's?
I thought it was two F's. I don't actually know.
I heard it was 3 Fs.
It might be two F's. That's what I think, but I don't know. See if you can find out. Schiff, but he calls him Shifty Schiff, so that throws things off a little bit, you know. And that one is stuck a little bit more than things like Meatball Ron or the terrible Ron
DeSanctimonious.
Yeah, that one was bad. Trump. He's got so many zingers, and that one was just a zunger. Not very good. Here he goes. He's talking about Shifty Schiff.
And Adam Shifty Schiffs. Can you believe this guy? He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. And the biggest head. We call him watermelon head. I'd say, how could that big fat face stand on a neck that looked like this finger? How can it? It was the weirdest thing.
What event is this?
This is
He's
some
in a full tuxedo.
He's
ripping
dressed
this
up.
guy apart.
He's in some event giving a speech, which is being broadcast on RSBN, which is like one of those right-leaning networks, and it's friggin' hilarious because they have a side-by-side up. One side, you see the feed of President Trump speaking and talking about Shifty Schiff's watermelon head, and the other side is telling you all about the spring sheet sale over at mypillow.com, which you're like, you got to have both those going on. That's how you have to work this.
What does that say? Jizza Dreams?
Giza, Giza Dreams in Percale. Don't know what any of that means, but
delicious.
That's what they're selling on the other side of the Shifty Shifter marks.
It's a mystery. Nobody can understand it. But he's one of the most dishonest human beings I've ever seen. And, how we can allow people like that to run an office is a shame, but we did.
It's a shame.
He was in charge of the witch hunt. He was in charge of the fake witch hunt with Russia. It was a made-up story.
There he goes. Watermelon head. Can't believe he can balance it on that little finger of a neck that he has.
Imagine then he goes, and the nominees are.
Here we go. Oh, I watch this. I go, I don't know how, like, Mama and Peepaw, who are cruising on the 401k and have watched the market kind of sink for about a week or so. And they're like, the Shifty Shift thing is funny, but I really would like to get some money back here, okay?
For my grandkids.
I don't care who's in the White House if I'm getting squished like a grape, all right? It's tough out there. Very, very tough. But maybe we're ready for a turnaround. Maybe things are going to turn around.
That glass half full.
And all these countries are going to start making deals. I hear there's deals in the works. Now, I would say if the deals are in the works or done, it would be really good for the stock markets and the news cycle to start going, hey, we just locked down this deal and this deal and this deal. And like, we're making deals. But that hasn't happened just yet. So the Dow starts off down 114 points again after ending yesterday. What a roller coaster yesterday. And the Dow was up like 1,200. And then it was floating at the end of the show around like 2 or 3 or maybe 1. And then it closed down like 300 and something points. So, like, it's roller coaster city, baby.
Yeah, and
Tough to watch. Tough to watch all of this. What's happening behind the scenes? Let's see what's going on. Here's Trump at the same bow tie event.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir.
All right, they're dying to make a deal. They're kissing ass. We should make a deal if that's the case. We should do that fast and then, again, run stories about that. Big Doug Millionaire says, iHeart's at $1.09. Is it really? Damn.
Wow.
Tempting. That $2 mark will be hit, man. Mark my words. I'm not a financial analyst or professional in any way. My advice is to be taken.
Yesterday, you said not to trust anybody who tells you
I'm doing it.
They know what's going on with the stock market.
I'm doing it. I'm telling you, I am not a financial expert or analyst. I don't know anything about these things. Neither does anybody who's shouting at you. Jim Cramer's just as dumb as I am, and everybody else is stupid too, right? Everybody is guessing, and if they have a lot of money, they can lose a little bit, and then they can win here and there, blah, 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 blah. It's like your friend telling you who's going to win the game, and then they don't win the game. And they go, eee. But I heard it $1.09.
Like when you ask Kevin if he has any sure things, if he knows any sure bets.
What do you got for me, huh?
The Office.
Yes. What do you got? That one was correct, yes.
So, yeah, 110 right now, looking
110.
like. And
it's going to hit $2, I guarantee. It was at $2 not even that long ago.
my Snapchat is still up and down. I'm just,
what's that at? Is that like so cheap? Because I want something where if something is $1, then you could put, let's say you had $10,000. You could put it in there. If it hits that $2 mark, whackety sackety, you're looking at $20,000 if that thing just goes up a little bit. Whackety sackety, you don't. Do you not watch CNBC at all?
CNBC? No, I do not. Is that the go-to?
You don't watch
is it wackety sackety? I thought it was wackety
sackety is literally the number one thing that stock traders say.
Wackety sackety, huh?
You've never heard this before?
No, I thought you were making up like a spooky dookie again.
No, it's not a spooky dookie.
I apologize to CNBC and the fans.
They don't do it on Fox Business yet, I don't think. But over there, when they make a sale on the trade floor, it's like, whackety sackety, and they hit a bell thing. And
no, considering what's going on with the stock market, maybe we'll come up with a new phrase.
Yeah. This has been around for 97 years, so I think they might stick with it. But we'll see what happens.
I think it's been around 97 seconds.
What are you saying?
You didn't make up that whole thing.
Are you saying that stock traders don't say whackety sackety when?
Okay. And this is just another example of why do I trust you as much as I do? It's crazy how good of a liar you are.
I don't know. You don't believe me when I'm telling you the truth, but when I'm lying, you believe everything. I don't understand it. I don't know how to handle that.
Yeah,
I don't.
You don't watch CNBC?
I just had to make her uncomfortable.
I felt like an idiot.
You think I'm over here watching CNBC? What am I watching?
Kind of.
Is there a secret side of me that you don't know where I turn on the TV and I'm like, here we go?
I used to know a little bit more about you because we did the show from your house, and I'm like, all right, John and Courtney are going to go watch their YouTubes. And he's going to have a Sammy, and I'm going to head out of here.
That's the same, except it's not a Sammy. But all those things are still
Sammy
normal
whammy.
and kicking. Yeah. What else do we have here? Oh, they brought the tariffs up over on China. And China then responded by bringing the tariffs up to like 84% or something on the United States.
That's what I saw.
Which I was like, okay. I mean, color me skeptical once more, but doesn't this kind of seem bad? I don't know. I'm not an
luckily,
expert.
not a lot of the stuff we use is really coming from China.
Yeah, no way, Jose.
So the Chinese economy has responded, and the government has responded by saying, all right, our tariffs are going up, so are yours. They're going up to 84%. And so let's go to the guy from Shark Tank, the Canadian guy. He's going to tell us what to do next. Let's listen.
104% tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades.
400%?
They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, and sell it back here. Never has an administration...
400% tariffs? What would that look like?
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore.
It's about what?
Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration.
Can I suggest that we stop taking everybody on? Aren't we like moments away from bombing Iran? If John McCain was alive, he'd be singing the song again. Bomb, 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 Iran. Oh, famous thing. Do you remember that?
From CNBC,
you remember that moment? Yeah. No, it wasn't on CNBC.
Are you sure?
John McCain sang the Bob Iran song, like Bomb Iran. Do you remember that or no?
Yeah, no, Barbara Ran.
Yeah. Do you remember when John McCain did it, though, on TV?
It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that they were singing Barbara Ann.
What did you think it was?
It's the title of the song.
It is, I think. I understand that, but I didn't actually, have the record. It was just something you sang around the schoolyard, and I thought it was... Not that this makes any sense. It definitely makes much less sense than Barbara Ann. I thought it was Bobber Ann. Like Bobber Ann.
Bobber? Like she's into fishing?
Bobber, like one word, I think. Bobber Ann.
Like Bob ran to the store to grab some milk.
Nope. Stop trying to make sense of it, Sabrina. It makes no sense.
Listen, yakety sackety. I believe everything.
What about Bob Iran? You believe or you think I'm making it up?
I think you're making it up.
All right.
It's well documented that we have, for quite a long time now, known where the real problem is.
Oh, this is a guy at a town hall.
Yeah, and in fact, the president adequately described it as the axis.
Might I say, friends, camera technology has drastically improved in the last couple of decades. What in the world of potato phones is this recording?
I guess my question is, how many times do we have to prove that these people are blowing up people now? Never mind if they get a nuclear weapon.
That's right. Can't let that happen.
Send them an airmail message to Tehran.
I love these kind of people at the town halls. Why don't we send an airmail message to Tehran?
I thought he said email message, but this is some pretty old footage, so airmail might be accurate.
A bomb. He's talking about bombing them. This is not like he actually wants to send some correspondence, Celine. He's like, why don't we send some airmail correspondence to Tehran?
I like that, actually.
That way. There goes John McCain.
That old Beach Boys song, Bomberan.
We got big trouble for that at the time, but now we're literally going to do it. Now we got that going on. We got a battle with Russia-Ukraine. We got now the China stuff going on. I think maybe we're taking Canada and Greenland still. I don't know. Panama Canal. It's hard to keep up with what's going on. But I think maybe we should just try to get some W's here. And if I can have a little bit of money back, I'd be happy.
Check under your seat.
Oh, my God. Now again, another letdown. Unbelievable. So Trump says they're kissing his ass. They're going to make some deals. We're going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. I hope that's the case. Will it be? I don't know. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. We have a lot going on the show today. We're going to talk with you. When we come back, we got an update from that boat captain. Yes, indeed. The boat captain and the young sailor fighting on the high seas. It really encapsulated what internet fighting and reactions can be all about and how collectively people can just go after an MFer. That, a big update to it is coming out, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
There's a couple accidents to look out for on the roadways. On Lee Road at Orange Blossom Trail, where State Road 434 meets Gateway Drive. Keep an eye out for an accident. Off to the shoulder on the Beach Line westbound near Innovation Way. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 eastbound before State Road 429. Travel with caution on the roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Folks, I got to tell you about a fantastic company. A company that is only after one thing, making sure that you are comfortable and cool inside your house, or warm if you need to be. Mills Air will help you with both. But right now, I mean, the weather's flip-flopping back and forth, but we're headed towards that really toasty spring and summer weather that just won't go away in the state of Florida. But Mills Air will keep you up and running. This is literally what they do. Right now, they're helping somebody out with this. I hope that you're not next. But if you have an issue, I hope that you reach out to Mills Air. They've been doing it since 1992, over 30 years. They're not going anywhere, and they're ready to help you out. They're a carrier, factory, authorized dealer, meaning you can get really big rebates, actually. Huge rebates if you get a brand new carrier unit. And that thing is going to save you big time on your power bill. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call at 407-277-1159 or find them online at millsair.com.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
Going to nursing school can change your life, but that doesn't mean it's easy. At Galen College of Nursing, we understand that. We provide one-to-one tutoring support and assigned academic advisors to help keep you on track from day one. Galen, the now approach to nursing education. Join us at galencollege.edu.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Skull mic. Skull mic activated. Check, check, check. Is this thing on? Am I coming through live and clear to my chat friends? If so, give me a hey-o. Hey-o, hey-o. Hello, hello. Give me a hello, hello. If you can hear me on the Skull mic. We got Fritz on the Street coming up today. Fritz on the Street in about an hour and a half-ish. We will have some fun with that. We'll see what's going on in Fritz's world. He'll be on the show for the second time this week. We got an update on the boat captain fight coming up next. Kind of surprising, I think. All right, like a little twist that I didn't necessarily expect. Even though we need a twist in that story because we're about, drained on the excitement there. Hey-o, hey-o. Hello, hello to everybody. Hello, hello. I see you there. I see you. So we got an update on the charter boat captain fight thing in Punta Gorda. Punta Gorda. That sounds like it means fat bitch. Punta Gorda, right? Like if I said, oh my God, this Punta Gorda comes up to me. What does Punta Gorda mean? Fat point? Gordo is fat, right? It's got to mean something fat. Punta Gorda. Fat bitch? Is that what it is? Fat point? Fat point. Punta point. Yeah. 104.1 point. Fat point. Why is it called fat point? That sounds terrible. It's almost as bad as Boca Raton. Okay, we're coming back in 30 seconds. Hang tight.
JannyRoofing.com. Offer only applies on full roof replacement and expires May 31st, 2025.
Roger Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
12 years in solitary.
Broke out of jail more than any other prison in Canada.
The Go Boy podcast is the gritty true crime story of daring prison escapes, risky bank robberies, and swift police arrests. And the man who fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable to go from an ex-con to a best-selling author almost overnight. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Go Boy, and start listening today.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
All right, we got a lot on the way. The next episode before too long, Fritz on the Streets is on the way. Our friend Fritz will be joining us momentarily here on the show. Going to be a fun Wednesday for us. Right now, we got an update on what happened with the fight on the water, the battle on the ocean between the really angry Captain Brock Horner and that other kid who was 22 years old. And when Captain Horner jumped on Gage's boat, he said, "I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid," he
Sorry,
said.
man. Sorry, bro.
And the whole battle played out in front of the world, mostly the internet. People really like to fight about this. A couple of people I saw, because some of the videos about this were getting a lot of attention and a lot of comments. You had your 90+% of people going, "This captain is such a jerk, man. Screw him. Take his license away. Put him in jail." Everything ends up in jail. If you don't like something, straight to jail. Straight to jail, Americans say. Don't like it, straight to jail, right? But there crept in at some point a support contingent for Captain Brock Horner. And I don't understand these people, but
on what grounds?
Sort of on, like,
was it the veteran thing, or is he getting some veteran support?
The biggest thing I saw, C-Lane, was, guess what? This kid learned a lesson today. Don't go running your mouth. You go running your mouth to somebody, and then things are going to get real, and then you cower like a little bitch boy on your boat.
Are these from people who have themselves holding fish in their profile photos?
I think these are from people who don't explore the world a lot. That would be my guess. I think these are the FAFO crew, because they're like, there is a legitimate use for F around and find out. I get it. There's so many times where I see stuff like this.
Yeah, but some people think it's in the Bill of Rights.
I know, truly, right? Like, so I'll watch a matador in Spain, and the bull will win and gore the matador, and I'll be like, F around and find out. There you go. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Whackety sackety. I'll say all of these things. But then when I see something like this boat ordeal, I don't go F around and find out. I go, well, this is just one person who's being an unhinged lunatic and like bullying another person. And it's what we see every single day. You guys see it. Sabrina sees it. Celian sees it. Everybody sees it. These stories about enraged human beings who have rage issues. Like, I can't tell you how many stories I have today, like in the stack of stories next to me, that are about a parking lot, somebody honked, stayed on the horn too long, pulled out a gun and started shooting or something.
0 to 100 in a snap of a finger. And then also just, it's a mix with entitlement. But that entitlement means, like, I don't care who I've got to kill, but I am right.
Which is crazy to think about. It's crazy. This was that playing out on the water to me. And I just don't understand.
And it went obviously very viral. I've seen now the clips every other scroll on TikTok.
It's everywhere.
And it still blows my mind that the man took the energy of everyone on that boat, because those 3 dudes with him did
nobody said anything.
Nothing.
Nobody even said
nothing.
Get him! There was not anything in the background. It was like, oh, here goes Captain Brock Horner again. So we got an update on this, bottom line. And now Gage, the 22-year-old who was the target of this Captain Brock Horner, has responded. And let's see what he says. Here's one of the reports talking about this morning. He's got an attorney as well. Everybody's lawyered up. They're all lawyered up. They're ready to go. I only got to do my shooting guns for a second. Then bam. Now everybody's lawyered up. They're ready to go for the wild, wild west. Let's listen in.
The attorney for the man targeted in this viral boat rage incident is now asking for the public to stop targeting the charter captain. Police arrested Brock Horner last Friday, charging him with burglary with assault or battery. That's after he was caught on camera in an intense confrontation with 22-year-old Gage Tolles. Tolles' attorney says while no one should have to endure that, Tolles is asking that people stop sending threats to Horner, his family, and his attorney. He says to let it all play out in the courts.
All right, just for the record, this is a great indicator of who is the more morally decent and good person in this talking point.
Seems like a sweet boy.
He's a young guy, 22 years old. He sees that the person that was so mean to him and wronged him in such a public way, he sees that person is getting death threats and that people are piling on and that he's being bullied. And he goes, hey, guys, stop. I don't support this. I don't condone this. Even though this guy's a real jerk, let's not stoop to his level. Because trust me on that, friend, if there's one thing that people like to do, it's stoop to the level of their enemies. It is what people tend to like to do. In politics, it's like, we would never do this if we were in charge. Person gets in charge. We're doing the same thing.
Exactly.
That kind of back and forth is what Americans seem to have a big appetite for. But he doesn't. And Gage goes, stop it, guys. It's an indicator of who is more morally right, I think, in the moment. Let's go back to the story.
Also asked his attorney what they're looking for in this case.
He's not looking for, any type of major type of retribution. Obviously, it appears to me in watching the video that Mr. Horner may need some kind of treatment or help. If he's a boat captain, the way the video says, and he's on the water 300 days a year, that's scary. That's scary. There needs to be some better training.
All right, so he wants him to basically have anger management. That's what I'm getting about what they want. I think it works. Well, hold on. That's a bigger question. Let's frame that up real quick. The first thing we need, Sabrina, is we need one person at least to be brave. If you have anger management issues, if you have rage issues, if you have road raged before, we would like to hear from you. Either via dispatch, which you can record on thenewsjunkie.com, or send an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. And what I want to know, especially if you have any experience going to anger management, is does that actually work? Is it effective? Or is it like you go into this place, they go, here's how to control your rages. You count to 5, do a little breathing exercise. Is there nothing you can do to tame the beast? And I would like
Andy
to hear
from
that.
The Office.
It worked for him. He was a sweet man before and a sweet man after. But does it actually work? That's the question. Like, have you ever been through any kind of anger management training? And if so, how did it work for you? Like, did it change anything for you? I'm just not convinced a lot of these things can be changed. Like, absolutely.
It seems like anger management is one of those motions that you go through when you've been ordered to do it by a judge.
Yeah.
Like I would love if there was some sort of statistic on people who have attended anger management that were forced to either legally, coerced into doing it by a loved one or a job versus somebody that just self-identified, said, I have a problem with my temper, and I am going to check myself into anger management. That's going to be like a tiny portion. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sure, but remember what it's called. It's not like take away the anger therapy. It is how to manage it. And I think that it's probably different than what we assume it is. And everyone in a circle, like, hey, I'm Sabrina, I'm angry. It's like when you're feeling this, do this step so that you don't find yourself on the front page of all the news sources around the world.
Yeah, but does it actually work is the question.
This man's been arrested so many times that
for instance, it feels a little gay conversion therapy to me.
Pray the rage away.
It works.
You know what I mean? It feels a little bit like you're bringing somebody to a thing to try to make them somebody that they're not, if you will.
Are you saying?
Now, I understand these things are very different.
Yeah, super angry people, though, that has to be rooted in something, or you think they're just born that way?
I think what he's saying is being angry is super gay.
What I'm saying is,
no,
I don't think we can change a lot of things about us. I think these inherent things are fairly unchangeable in us. I think we like to think that we could work on ourselves and better ourselves and get all these.
You say it all the time. You started off this year saying that you're going to be more optimistic.
No, that's different. I'm talking about on the key points. Like, I don't have road rage, so it's kind of hard for me to understand. But I think if you have certain personality traits, you cannot get rid of them. I think you can only try to like slightly manage them and like go, oh, okay, I don't want to get in trouble here socially and put them away. But I think people that have rage just have it in them.
Shut up.
I think that it's just there. And I think you have a certain percentage. Like Sabrina probably has a certain percentage of rage. I have a certain percentage of rage. Sealand has a certain percentage of rage. And then you probably
percentage, of the three
you probably,
of us.
but in my world here, shooting from the hip, I would say you have a certain level of rage and then a certain level of potential rage. And I think, while C-Lane's level of rage may be consistently pretty low.
We only saw it one time when he slammed the
level of potential rage is through the roof if somebody screws with him one day. That's why he's a madman behind the wheel of a car. But maybe I'm doomer pilled on this.
See, he does this stuff. He's like, I don't have road rage. And then he does and he just throws these little jabs at us. And you wonder why people react angrily.
I am just saying the truth. I am saying the absolute truth for once. Not the yakety-sackety thing. Into this microphone, which I do enjoy doing. But I think that those things are inherent about us. I think that they are part of who we are. And maybe a combination of our like upbringing and our DNA brings us to that individual that's angry, or that's horny. You know, the people who go into sex addiction therapy. How much can that really work? What are you doing? You're still going to be the same sexually excited person that you were before you went in there.
The mind is very powerful. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I don't want to bring it to crazy town, but I'm going to do it.
You do want to bring it to crazy town.
I don't think that pedophile people are doing it on purpose. I think that's inherent in them, and then you bring them to all of these kind of classes and stuff, and they cannot change that thing about them and what they do. I don't know that you could fix these things. Now, the lowest on all of the lists, well, I don't even know. I was going to say would be anger and anger management. It's pretty bad, but can you fix this stuff? Will Brock Horner be a nice, calm, cool captain in the future? Let us know. Tell us what you think. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us your dispatch right now.
Didn't he have to get a new lawyer? I heard.
No, I didn't see that. Did he?
I thought I heard that the guy that wrote the statement that we read at the end of last week, the one that ended in, everybody should take some time to be like Gage and be more level-headed and stuff.
I do remember you saying that.
I think I heard that he got a different lawyer.
Really? We did kind of argue together that was a weird statement, and it wasn't really great for the client of this guy.
I think the lawyer left. He's like, he got really mad at me. Turns out he's an angry guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be with this guy. Let's go to one dispatch right now. This one says Sean's flat out wrong. Oh, boy. Here's Bloodmouth.
That's a way to get your dispatch played.
The guy with one kid and one cat.
What?
You can't love two things equally. You are wrong. Floridian Kelly was right about that.
No, I'm sorry.
I love all my kids equally. Pets, that's up for debate. But kids, yes, I love all my kids equally.
You got a favorite.
You're wrong, Sean. You're just wrong.
You're wrong.
But you earn the favoritism.
But still love you, bud. All right, have a good one.
All right.
Bloodmouth, I'm sorry. You're just wrong every single time I've ever seen a situation like this. It's pretty clear that you're going to have a favorite. Somebody who's like a little bit more reliable, somebody who tries harder. You might even think you're the favorite of the family.
I know I am.
I know I was. My mom told me. Did your parents tell you? Like, you know what?
We
got
tell
drunk.
Them. It was an adult thing, but I was
yeah?
Who's your favorite? You are Sabrina. Or
Was
don't
there
tell
any
her.
hesitation at all?
No, dog, but I know it.
All right. Did you call me dog?
Yeah, and also, are you sure your sister wasn't?
No, I was. Because...
You think they just told you that?
Maybe. It's hard to say. You never know.
Hold on. Your sister, didn't she run off?
Yeah.
She was younger, but...
Yeah.
Sometimes...
She was troubled in her teens. She had some problems and some troubles. And her and my dad from time to time wouldn't get along. Although she was the executor on my dad's will, not me. So what does that say?
Oh.
No.
Favorites.
Like, which one are you picking here and why is the question.
She somehow proved herself to be more responsible at some point,
so,
right around the time that your dad decided how the will was going to go.
My dad's like, you're my favorite. And then I leave.
Here's
and
the
boom.
Mercedes.
I don't even have to ask my dad. I just know
You're the only child.
I have a sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's about how the balance is going over
You're
there.
your mom's favorite.
Let us know what you think. We have a lot to get into, a lot of clips to get into here during the show today. Fritz on the Street. The next episode, much, much more. And when we come back, we'll talk about Mr. Beast has waded into the tariffs war here. And this guy, like, he's got to know what's going on here. Maybe he could solve the problem. What did he say? We'll hear that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the show, we talk about the controversy surrounding the police shooting an autistic kid with a knife. Plus, a guy tries to cash in a big fine. At 4 o'clock, it's Animal House with the Central Florida Zoo. We'll talk to Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel. For trivia, it's tickets to Brews Around the Zoo, UB40, and the Orlando Valkyries. Plus, your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast for our Wednesday. And a beautiful day is upon us across Central Florida with temperatures climbing into the upper 70s, just shy of 80 degrees today with a high of 79. We'll see a good amount of sunshine, just a couple of fair weather cumulus clouds. But as we look ahead towards the end of the week, temperatures will be warming back up to right around the mid 80s. Still overall mostly dry, a couple of coastal showers possible. Cold front Friday, though, helps us return to the 70s for highs this weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in where.
Hello, hello. School mic activated. Folks, I got to tell you,
every time, literally, every time I walk out of the studio, it is brutal. Brutal. With a capital BRUTAL. Lady's room is on the other side of the studio wall. It's a big, long room, as long as this wall, big room that lady is in. And right now, we're getting her a new dog bed because her dog bed is all old and she needs a new one. And so Courtney just threw it out yesterday. And she's in her room in there without a dog bed and just this like big blanket thing. And I've never seen a more pathetic looking dog. She's just like Oliver Twist in it. Like just staring up with her big eyes like, whoa. Like I don't even have a bed. I'm just a poor destitute dog. Please help me. Please give me a treat or a snack or something. And I want to set her free, but Courtney's not here, so that she'll just like cry all around the house because she's so attached to Courtney. It's a real conundrum. Two minutes. Coming back in 2 minutes. Coach Sidious says, I was watching TV and they said something about dead peacocks and they thought it was me. No. I haven't killed any. But they did get rid of a whole bunch in our neighborhood, and then the neighborhood got like at least all the empathetic weirdos, and I don't mean just regular empathetic, I mean like the overly empathetic weirdos who had conspiracy theories in the neighborhood about body bags of peacocks as they like holocausted the peacocks in our neighborhood, which is all nonsense. For a couple of weeks, people were like, there's no more peacocks in the neighborhood, they killed them all. Now, 8 billion peacocks again. Peacock semen is like golden. I swear to God. They fire one and eight peacocks come out. And they pop up like popcorn. Peacocks are just like jizzing on the ground, little kernels of popcorn popping up other peacocks. On accident, they're having other peacocks. I'll turn my head away when we're on a walk and turn my head back. 3 more peacocks have just popped up. So that neighborhood is going to be A-okay. They're just peacocks everywhere. Can you eat peacocks? My thing is, if somebody says, can you eat blank, and we don't already eat it, there's enough humans that have been around for enough time, there's a reason why we don't eat that animal. Either it's tough to catch, it stinks, or the meat is not as good as other stuff that's easier for us to raise. There's got to be a reason we're not eating peacock, right? All right, we're coming back.
Shot. Head to VaxAssist.com and schedule today. That's VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Look ahead with the team at TK Law to plan your family's future. Visit onefirmforlife.com.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Where breaking news meets broken people. This is the News Junkie.
A roach, and then not wanting to lift your foot up and seeing the roach underneath your foot.
Yeah, because you felt it. You felt the guts.
It, made that noise.
Crunchy.
And you know what happened. Yeah, but you don't want to confirm. So that's kind of how I feel about going to finance.yahoo.com. Not terrible, just barely in the red, which these days means 93 points in the red. Floating around. NASDAQ's up 74 points. Up is down, left is right. Gold is up 112 points.
And that cockroach is still alive.
I don't know what's happening. That cockroach is dead. R.I.P. It is absolutely out cold, like your 401k right now.
Rip cockroach, you're dead now.
Mr. Beast is going to fix it all, baby. He's going to fix it. Who makes the blind see? Mr. Beast. Who makes the paraplegic walk? Mr. Beast. Who gives the poor money? Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who had a burger place that
carless, carful?
Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Who had that pilot live in a plane for 100 days?
What? Did you see the post he did the other day where, do we talk about that on the show?
About the 3 things he has?
Yeah. Mr. Beast is like, I currently have a pilot that's been living in a cockpit of a plane for 45 days and won't leave. I currently got this person. And somebody responded, what if Mr. Beast's fetish is just to imprison people everywhere and he's able to get away with it because he's the world's #1 YouTuber right now? But he's not liking the tariffs. He's not a fan of the tariffs, Mr. Beast says on X/Twitter. I don't know when to end that. Like, when do I just say X? When do people just know? I don't know. It's just not comfortable yet. But Mr. Beast says, look, things are not good right now. Don't like these tariffs so much. And I have to make my my chocolate bars overseas. He says, ironically, because of all the new tariffs, it's now way cheaper to make our chocolate bars. Those are called Beast bars, I think. These are the ones that he sells. Which
I see him at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I've tried them before. They were everywhere for a second. It seems like they kind of dialed down a little bit now.
They were just fine.
Yeah, they were just okay.
I got the one that, with like the description of it on the package, sounded the most like a Reese's. You know, like some chocolate and some peanut butter, and it was. Meh.
Didn't they have names like nuts in your mouth or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Mr.
He says,
Beast,
ironically,
Aruga.
because of all the new tariffs, it's now way cheaper to make our chocolate Mr. Beast bars we sell globally, not in America. So he's not going to build his chocolate factory a la Willy Wonka because other countries don't have a 20% tariff on our cogs, he says. By the way, we pay our farmers a living income, use fair trade certified beans, etc. So I was already spending a lot on cocoa. A random price hike was pretty brutal, not going to lie. We'll figure it out. I feel for small businesses, though, Mr. Beast says. Could really be a nail in the coffin for him. So he's saying like it would be easier to make these Mr. Beast bars overseas because of these tariffs. Although the tariffs haven't been in place for very long, right? This is a very minor amount of time so far.
Doesn't he still have to get them into America, or does he like make America ones for America and then make other ones overseas and ship those out globally?
Is America growing cocoa? Does America grow our own cocoa? As far as I knew, that was like in Central and South America, most of the cocoa.
I think because of the climate of it all. But then again, you can't make cocoa indoors these days.
I'm sure you could, but it's about doing it at scale. They need so much of this stuff to pull this off. And then they want it like from the fancy place so they can brag about it being this and that.
Doesn't have the climate suitable for large-scale cocoa bean production, with only Hawaii and parts of Florida able to grow cocoa commercially, and most of the world's cocoa coming from Africa.
Yeah, and then we can't compete with countries like Africa because they're going to pay very, very low wages because it's much lower cost of living in their countries, et cetera, et cetera. That's sort of how the global markets work. But maybe people want to get back on the cocoa farms. Maybe that's the way we're going. I hear a lot of talk about like this romanticization of the olden days. And they're going like, the tariffs are going to bring us back to this. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. And I want to see what you think about it, okay? Because here's how the conversation was going on Fox News. Here's where they were talking about what we're going to bring things back to. Let's listen in.
And to them. So obviously they have, I think that trade deficit as part of the equation is a mistake. That's my feeling. I love reciprocal. It's very simple. You give us a tariff, we'll give you a tariff for the same amount. That's simple. But here's the problem. We Americans used to live a lot better with a lot less than they do now. My dad made $3,500 a year the year I was born. That's an equivalent of about $40,000 a year now. With that $40,000, equivalent of $40,000 a year, He had a 3-bedroom house. He had 2 kids. He had a wife who didn't work. He had a car, a TV, and my granddad lived in the basement. All right? That was with the equivalent of $40,000 a year.
All right, so this is a thing that I hear all the time where people go, America used to be like this, and on one salary, you could keep your family going and have a car and a house and all the things you wanted, blah, blah, blah. Man, the 1950s, we gotta get back to that. Anytime I hear this, I go, I wish I had a button that I could push to zap you back to the 1950s. Because I would push that button and I would give you a return button. And it would be about 60 seconds before you hit it back.
Yeah,
right?
I'm good.
Because you would go to the 1950s and you go, I can get a buy on my $40,000 salary right here in the 1950s. But guess what? In the 1950s, your $40,000 equivalent salary, what were the housing sizes? What was the difference there? Is that even a thing
He
we
had
can
a
search for?
3-bedroom house.
3-bedroom, how many square feet?
I don't know.
1950s, people were living in shoe boxes, friend.
There we go.
Average square foot house, 1950.
Average new home in the U.S. In the 1950s was 983 square feet.
Okay, now same thing, 2025. All right, we 980 square feet is a damn apartment in most cases. So you're like, my grandpa had a 3-bedroom house on his $40K equivalent salary. And you're like, yeah. And you think I haven't been to my grandparents' house? Been there in Vermont. My mom and all of her siblings, there were a ton of them, went to that house. They all grew up in that same house. They would have said the same thing. That house was the smallest thing I've ever been in my life.
220 square feet, the average in 2025.
That cannot be right.
This is what it says right here.
220 square feet?
In 2025, the average size of a new single-family home in the U.S. is around 2,200 square feet.
Okay, yeah, there we
What'd
go.
I
All
say?
right. 220 square feet.
Oops.
I was like, that seems too small. That seems
In the 1950s, you didn't have to read.
a little tiny housey. But yeah, the houses were a fraction of the size. You didn't have the internet. You didn't have additional bills. You didn't have all of these things. So yes, you could get by on $40,000 or the equivalent of that a year. Technically, you could still do that if you lived a very frugal life. You could absolutely still do that. If you lived a life like you were in the 1950s, in fact, go get that 900 square foot house for your family. Go get that older car that's not as hooked up with all of the technology that we have. Get rid of your internet. Get rid of your cable television. Watch over-the-air television that's free. Knock all of the things down right now that you have to the 1950s equivalent, and you can get by on $40,000 a year and do just fine, just like you did back then. That's what I'm saying. I'm also saying I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't think it's a better place to be. What do you think? Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. Have we played any dispatches or no?
No.
I don't believe so.
All right. I want to share a moment with you real quick before we play a dispatch. This is just one of those things like way back on the show, we did a story. And the story was about a person walking down the street and they died instantly. They had no idea what was going on. They're just walking down the street. I think it was in New York. Maybe one of you knows, Sabrina or Steven, I don't know. And a gargoyle on the edge of the building fell off, just broke off.
Live life.
Fell down all these stories and hit the person on the head and killed them on the sidewalk immediately.
She was walking with somebody, and it was like just her. Gargoyle fell on.
Yeah, dead immediately. And so we talked about live life like gargoyles are following, or triple L gaff.
Falling, yeah.
What did I say?
3L gaff.
Following? Falling?
You're just
Live
running
life-
all the time. Gargoyles are following me.
Some people are doing that already. Live life like gargoyles are falling, and it could fall on you at any moment. And that brings me to this here. This was in Pennsylvania. Cars cruising along. Check this out. Ready? Talk about close calls. I'll tell you all what's happening here, right? Car is cruising, stops in the middle of the road.
Oh.
Boom!
Oh, my God. Are they okay?
They are okay. I don't know how, but they are okay. They were driving their SUV along,
What are the
and
odds?
a tree just falls on them. I'm going to put this up on See It Now during the commercial break in just a minute here.
Mind you, had they not pulled up, it would have just fallen right in front of them.
Or you have, on the front of their car. I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Mark where that is. Ready? Okay. If they had not have pulled up, the tree would have missed their vehicle. But
Or if they would have pulled up a little further.
They pulled up in this awkward spot, and this tree out of nowhere just plop goes landing right on them. I am in the process, as I'm talking, of putting this over on See It Now so you guys can take a look at the visual. Again, just to remind you, you never know when the end is coming. You just live life like gargoyles are falling on you, and take care of yourself. And now I'm putting this up right here on See It Now.
Take care of yourself as much as you want. If a gargoyle falls on you, it's not based on your health.
I know, but at least you were having fun in the run-up. At least you enjoyed yourself. That's what live life like gargoyles are falling is all about. Like, you didn't sit there and wait because I could do it next week or the next month. I could procrastinate. You went for it. You had fun. And now you could watch that video that we just watched. It's over on See It Now on thenewsjunkie.com. Thenewsjunkie.com. Check out the See It Now section. What do you think about Mr. Beast? Let us know. We'll get to your thoughts on that real quick. An email. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Caitlin, a.k.a. Catalina Wine Mixer, and she says, Sean, Sabrina, and C-Lane, good day, beauties. I'm probably that lone listener that mostly agrees with the story that you did yesterday. The story about the 4 pets maximum, the pet restriction ordinance in North Glen, Colorado, right outside of Denver. This comes from a background in veterinary medicine and animal welfare and also being a Colorado native. The thing about North Glen and probably most metro area cities, especially North Glen, is there are large concentrations of apartment complexes throughout the city. There are plenty of single-family homes, too, but I think the apartment complexes are probably the source of the noise and the waste issues. To be honest, I think having 4 pets in an apartment isn't an ideal situation for pets of certain breed sizes and yappiness. If some residents are lazy to pick up after their dogs, it's probably gross. My issue with the ordinance is that if they come for the pets of residents who respect the community rules, that is effed up and shameful. Yeah, not to mention... my own words. Not to mention, aren't the shelters a little full anyhow? We're going to be filling them up with the 5th, 6th, 7th dog. I will die fighting for my neighbor with 3 Shih Tzus who just got a new puppy. The oldest dog has 1 paw in the grave, so it kind of makes sense. Just wondering what you think about the apartments being a factor in pet limitations. Have a great day, says Catalina Wine Mixer. My take on this is consistent. You don't need to make up laws like this. You make up a law that says, if you have animals in too small of a square footage and you can't properly care for them, we will go and make sure that the animals are properly cared from. If you treat an animal like X, we consider it a form of, an attack on this animal, an abuse on this animal, and we'll do this to you. Make up laws that govern how people treat their pets and how they raise up their pets and do those things. Not some arbitrary number. 4 is enough, 5 is too many. Doesn't make sense. It does not apply for a wide swath of people. It's like the kind of laws that they put in place in New York and nanny state places where they go, you can't buy a drink over 18 ounces. Why? Because the fatties can't control themselves. So everybody gets punished, right? Those are laws that are dumb. We don't need that kind of stuff, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send a dispatch right now. When we return, we'll hear from you. We'll see what's going on with Elon Musk and the administration fighting. And my favorite, we'll do this right off the jump when we come back. That morbidly obese death row inmate just ordered their final meal. What did they order? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's never been easier to listen to Real Radio 104.1 wherever you go. Make us your number 1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app.
From the Clausman...
Let's go, Mike. Hello, 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 hello. Tommy Awesome says you are only allowed to have more than 4 animals if they are edible. Technically, all animals are edible, so that would make the law useless. Which I'm fine with. But almost everything that's living is edible. Hello? What? What do you got? You connected your hair dryer to your app? No. Oh, is it? Why? Oh, like closed for good. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Congratulations. Have fun. Courtney got her Dyson Airwrap, which she is currently connecting to her phone, because that's a thing. Florida Scratcher says, maybe you shouldn't have a dog in an apartment, just saying. If you start policing that kind of stuff, you get into really troubled territory. Like, are we going to waste all our time going, you have a dog in an apartment, what do we do about this now? We have, like, such obvious issues that we need to handle so far before that. And then you go, well, should you not be able to have breeds in particular places? Should you not be able to have a husky in a warm climate? Like anywhere from here to here. Anywhere from here to here on the map. From like South America to the southeastern United States. Should you not be able to have a husky? Because that's animal abuse? They shouldn't be in that climate? No, just let people have animals as long as they take care of them. You have to treat the dog right. If the dog is, malnutrition, if the dog is sick and hurting, then the person gets in trouble. No matter how many there are. Ethan says, I think it's animal cruelty to have a husky in Florida. I got a neighbor with a husky, and I know a lot of people think that. But, I mean, they seem like they treat their dog well. They got it out going for a walk. I hope that they, keep it cool as best they can. Maybe they had the animal in a colder climate and they had to move here for some reason. I don't know. I always try to give the benefit of the doubt and just look at the animal and see if it looks like healthy and happy and safe as best you can tell. Amanda says, my flat iron has a touch screen. Ladies, what is going on? We don't need touch screens on flat irons. What is with the technology being put in places where it doesn't need to be? And I say this as a man with a toaster with a touch screen. The world has gone too far. All right, we're coming back now.
.com. So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Need more animals, more gators, and more fun? Y'all need Gatorland.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture.
I don't know. We'll see what you think. The final meal has been ordered for this morbidly obese death row inmate, and we'll get to that, plus you and your dispatches. Send a video or audio dispatch. I want to see your face. Send a video dispatch. Go do it now over on thenewsjunkie.com. This feels like stolen valor fat. When I saw the story about the person...
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, please, let's all judge here. The people on death row, when they're morbidly obese, they've taken to complaining about that and saying, like, look, it's going to be cruel and unusual punishment, even though being that fat is usually some kind of punishment in and of itself. But they're saying this, to be put to death, will be cruel and unusual. It's not made for somebody of our size. And now that this person, Michael Tanzi, is going to be put to death about 6 p.m. today, he's already ordered his final meal. And with that, I learned how big he was. And I go, you know what?
It doesn't seem big. You wouldn't even have your own reality show, man. He's only 380 pounds.
Oh, that's a big boy.
That's not that big in the grand scheme of things. Like, too big
What's
to
he
be
on
put
death
to
row
death.
for?
He's
Sitting
on
on
death
someone?
row. They called him, and this must be so hurtful, they called him a fledgling serial killer. This is like, you tried to be a serial killer, you only kind of succeeded at it. Michael Tanzi brutally kidnapped and murdered Janet Acosta, a Miami Herald employee 24 years ago. Now he's ordered his final meal, and it's going to be shipped up to him.
He only murdered one person, and that's why he's fledgling as a serial killer?
Yeah, he didn't make it all the way to the finish line there. You got to get a couple more under you for the spree killer title. He put in his final meal request. He said, I would like to have pork chops, bacon, pork on pork, man. He's not scared of getting the veins and the arteries full of stuff. He's fine. Pork chops, bacon, ice cream, and a candy bar, he says.
Hot damn.
This is what he wants on the way out.
He's going to have some death indigestion.
Yes,
that would have been funny if
indeed.
I can get the word out.
Tanzi says, I want to apologize to the family. And he recited a Bible verse. And then, that's that. This guy. He has said that I guess he's admitting guilt because he said he's sorry. It's done. Basically, justice for Janet happened. This is according to the victim's sister. My heart felt lighter and I could breathe again. So he was put to death 6 p.m. on Tuesday. There was a brief at the last minute saying he was morbidly obese and suffers from a nerve condition, sciatica. But now, after those pork chops, bacon, ice cream, and a candy bar, see you later. 380 pounds of Michael Tanzi.
Did they say how tall he is for a 380-pound man?
No, that's a key thing, though, right? Like, if you're 6'5", 380, that is so different than 5'8",
Still
380.
pretty big.
Yeah.
How much does Shaq weigh? Would we say that Shaq was fat?
No.
Would we
but
say
he's
that?
Tall.
I wouldn't say Shaq was fat, and I bet Shaq is 340 pounds.
324.
Yeah?
And he's
See,
7'1".
Yeah. So, I mean, he's a huge guy, but, like, the height thing matters so much when you get up there. The height.
He's also, in the pictures I'm looking at, there's various, phases of Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also quite muscular,
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a very, very large human being, but maybe this guy was a lot smaller, and we now know what his final meal was. Sayonara. He's out of here.
I just don't see what the argument for cruel and unusual when you're just going to die. Like, how does it make it any different if you're fat and you're going to die?
Right.
It's and if he's getting the juice, then it's not like he's too big to get in the chair.
Is that extra juice, though?
It could be extra juice. They might have to just, put a little bit more in the syringe just to make sure.
I don't know. I think there's so much in there that just takes you out. It's just like, it's amazing to me because I think sometimes the death penalty advocates tell the people on death row, like, hey, as soon as they inject it, start wiggling around and start screaming, and we got to make it worse so we can stop the death penalty. But if I'm real, it seems like maybe the best possible way that you could ever think of. It seems better than a gas chamber. It seems better than the gun thing. It seems better than certainly
the electric chair.
The electric chair. Like the idea that
Woogie.
Oh,
the
damn.
electric chair is a wild idea, man.
Shaq said at one point he got up to 415 pounds during his playing career.
See, that's a big guy.
That's a big boy.
But don't you think that the lethal injection dose could take out Shaq just like it could take out like a regular sized dude?
I think it could, but just to be safe.
A little extra.
I mean, it's intravenous. It's going straight to the places it needs to go, right?
Yeah. That's, well, I would hope so, at least.
It's not like you're doling out a cup of rat poison and you're like, well, this is a 400-pound rat.
One's peppy.
You just make it tired for a little bit and shakes it off and keeps going.
And he wakes up 3 hours later. What happened?
I swear to
Pork
God.
chop.
I'm not lying to you. I felt like that last night.
I'm sorry?
I felt like the rat that got hit with the dose last night. Last night was a no drinking night. So that means I got to take something to help me, nod off.
My
go to sleep
gummies.
about 1 o'clock in the morning. We don't do the gummies anymore. They're great though. Those sleep gummies were very, very good. A friend of mine gave those to me, but we do some other ones that are non-habit forming that Courtney found, and I just take one of them like recommended. And when I go to bed, it's like hard to fight, and it is just bringing me off into Sleepy Town, which is brilliant and pleasant in so many ways. And I go to sleep. The problem is I'm sleeping so hard that last night I had to pee, and I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was like I woke up in a body 3 times the way. Like, throw left foot forward, throw right foot forward, like trying to get
You're
to the
lucky you
bathroom.
didn't pee yourself.
I barely made it in there. I'm like, ugh. I felt like a zombie or something. And then I make it back. In the moment I lay on the pillow, right back to Sleepy Town.
You know what I haven't tried, but I'm kind of curious about, because I was thinking about, all right, what am I going to do on not drinking nights?
Ambien.
Besides just take melatonin.
Uh-huh.
Which I recently learned that I have a friend that just takes the melatonin whether he's drinking or not. And I was like, oh, I didn't think that was
It's
recommended.
a dietary supplement.
Just popping them. They're not, I don't think they're super strong, but they do affect my dreams. But
yeah, for sure. But I haven't tried, and some people are into these weed sodas.
Mm-hmm. I tried them in California. Delicious.
But you could just get them here. I think they've got them at like...
Oh, you have to have your medical card.
No, you don't.
Wait,
is
there
probably
not
Delta, dude?
Yeah, I was just going to say, is there not the active ingredient of marijuana in them?
It's there's some like loophole or something.
Right. Remember when they did that with spice? People were getting very sick.
Yeah, but that's not what they're putting in these. So they wouldn't be selling
take a soda then.
They wouldn't be selling it at ABC or Total Wine if it was, spice.
I love that viewpoint. Unfortunately, I don't share it at all. But I love C-Lane's trust in the institutions where he's like, if they'll sell it at a store.
No. I'm saying big chain stores, not just like the next to the horny goat weed at your.
Yeah, but they sell cigarettes at big stores. They sell bottles of vodka at big stores. They sell this stuff at all these stores. It's not.
You already
I don't think
bought
it
it,
means,
didn't you?
No, the wheat drinks? No, I've never.
No,
I've never.
No.
Did you?
No, I haven't bought any. I think somebody gave me some once, but those might not have made the move.
But you're interested. You try it.
I would give it a shot.
All right. Well, we're going to have to look for all these options. Because you know how you heard about the tariffs thing?
I have heard of the tariffs.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, there's a tariffs. I'm just hearing this too, but there's like apparently tariffs out there, which everybody online knows exactly what they are.
Oh, yeah.
100%. The market's back up 100. Roller coaster continues. But now we got the tariffs, and at least it's not going to impact the cost of like the drugs that you get at the pharmacy or anything like that. At least we don't have an issue.
We're going to tariff our pharmaceuticals, and once we do that, they're going to come rushing back into our country because we're the big market. The advantage we have over everybody is that we're the big market. So we're going to be announcing very shortly a major tariff on pharmaceuticals, and when they hear that, they will leave China, they will leave other places because they have to sell. Most of their product is sold here.
All right. He's saying they're going to put some tariffs on the pharmaceuticals.
Oh, yeah. They're totally going to leave.
And
or maybe just make it more expensive for people who need medication.
The problem is this just seems all like long-term, long fight, long battle fixes. And I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. This is the thing, my friend. If Trump is right on this, if all these countries end up backing down, if the market gets all the gains back, and if every single media outlet and person with a mouth moving in front of a microphone got it wrong, and Trump ends up being right about this, the dude will, maybe he gets a third term. Maybe he gets a third term. Maybe he goes FDR and gets a zillion terms, right? Just keeps going after that. Maybe that happens. Maybe the Republicans dominate for the next 40 years, right? Like literally, I think that could happen if this pays off and people go, damn, all the doom and gloom was wrong. And these people with different ideas, they were right about this. Or it's a catastrophe. So this is the absolute chasm that we find ourselves in, where we're in a gorge of potential outcomes. And on the left, we have annihilation. And on the right, we have like, oh, that worked out and it went really well for us. And everything hinges on this. Everything absolutely hinges on this. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to, we can work in one dispatch real quick, I think, right here. Let's see what we got.
You don't have another video to play first?
I could. Why? Did I promise more? And
you're like, I haven't done any dispatches. Here's a tree falling on a car.
All right, let's go to this video. Here is Fox News. No, I can't do that.
Yakety-sackety.
You think I'm just going to go to a random video of Trump talking about windmills?
Between that and windmills, you can have windmills too. Most expensive form of energy ever. Anybody have a windmill by your house? Congratulations, you'll never sell your house. And today I signed historic.
All right,
executive
pause.
We have to go to break.
I saw this on Facebook. Somebody was like, some super Trumper was like, Trump has never looked better. He is just, and I went, hey, I don't think there's any color left in his hair, and he's looking kind of square. He's looking kind of Minecrafty with the, there's a right angle there.
His hair is definitely grayed out, but he's at that age.
He's got like a square top thing going on.
He's at that age, and he looks a little more tonered up than he generally does.
Less orange, more brown.
He's rocking it. He hates the wind energy, hates the solar energy. I'll never forget when I got to play the clip of Trump talking about the wind.
Oh, the wind is
bull ass. Trump goes, and the wind is bull ass. You're just like, what? The guy hates the wind.
Unleash coal production
to
the highest levels ever.
You dispatchers are missing out because of sea lion.
Because, coal.
No, because of you, because your pride, because I made fun of you. We have more
of it than any. We have more liquid gold under our feet.
That's right. Liquid
oil
gold,
and gas,
baby.
And we have more coal than any other country. No other country has as much as we have.
You talked a lot about coal miners, too. But do you want to go to coal miners or you want to go to dispatch?
No, we got to go to a break.
No, we're fine. We're fine. We got a couple minutes here. It's just either coal miners or dispatches. If you don't want to weigh in on that, it's fine.
Dispatch.
Coal miners.
Coal miner. Oh, it's two coal miners. That's two coal miners.
Outvoted.
Let's see what he says.
In the first campaign where Hillary Clinton was about 4 states too early, and she was talking about how bad coal was and how they were going to teach coal miners how to make widgets and gadgets and technology.
Widgets and gadgets.
They want to mine. One thing I learned about the coal miners, that's what they want to do. You could give them a penthouse on Fifth Avenue and a different kind of a job, and they'd be unhappy. They want to mine coal. That's what they love to do. And
they love it.
She was going to put them in a high-tech industry where you make little cell phones and things. I don't know. Do you think he'd be good at that? I don't know.
He just points at a coal miner. You think he'd be good at that? I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, one dispatch. We can do it. I've been bad about this. We can do everything here. Here is Etchy talking about living in the 50s. And we brought up how a lot of these folks who are like talking heads on TV will go, we need to go back to the 50s when a man pulling in $40,000 a year could afford a house and a car and his whole family inside. And I said, the living conditions sucked in comparison. So you could live right now like you're in the 50s. In a tiny little house with your tiny little family and a tiny little car with roll-up windows. You live within all of those constraints on $40,000 a year still in 2025 if you wanted to. Here's Etchy.
Hey, junkies. Let me start with, if you went back to the 50s, it wouldn't be as good. But the point is that if we were economically as good as we were in the 50s, in such good shape, even with modern stuff, bigger houses, all that kind of stuff, what keeps that working is that we have better building materials. We know how to do things cheaper. Just like when HD TVs came out, they were $10,000. Now you can buy one at Walmart for $300. That's just the way things go. So we can still have all this tech, all this TVs, all 2 cars instead of one, what have you. But here's the big thing.
Okay.
What people don't realize is in the decade of the 50s, the most profitable time for the middle class.
The middle class of the 1950s was impoverished by today's standards in 2025. Our hobos have cell phones, okay?
That's
the
true.
middle class of the 1950s did not have it great like everybody thinks they did.
They had little houses. They entered the rat race. They drove into the city in their crappy little cars with no air conditioning. They lived miserable little lives in the 50s. If they could push a button and fly forward to 2025, they would do it. Trust me.
What percentage of their taxes? Their tax percentage at the highest in the 50s when we were most successful was 91%.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's saying that the percentage of the rich paid in taxes was 91%. I don't know if that's true or what level that's at. I know that poor people don't pay taxes if you've been conditioned to believe that. This is just not the case. If somebody's below the poverty line in the United States of America, they don't pay taxes. Middle-class people, relatively speaking, pay fairly low taxes in the United States of America, especially if they have a bunch of kids and stuff. Now, they got the nickel and dime nonsense. You got the sales tax, the ATM fees, the taxes every place you can look at, or fees everywhere. But I don't know about the 91% on the rich in the 1950s. You have to send me something to back that up. All right, when we come back, we'll get into, we got to talk about Elon Musk fighting with the Trump administration, what's happening there. I don't know if I'll have time for that before the next episode. I got an update on that nightclub incident in the Dominican Republic.
Rough.
Whew. Man, we'll give you the update on that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Anyway, nobody cares. But it's for your memory, right? Like, because I worry about that.
I love the irony that you can't remember what you got for your memory. That's pretty good.
that is so true. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, it drives me nuts.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on Florida's Turnpike southbound between Hancock Road and Oakland Exchange. There's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Slowdowns on I-4 through that Champions Gate area. Emergency crews have cleared that accident on Orange Blossom Trail where it meets Lee Road. All lanes are open there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
If you're over 62 on a fixed income, then it's time for you to find out about a reverse mortgage. And more importantly, work with that mortgage guy, Don. Rates are improving, and that makes the terms even more favorable. Want to find out how it works? That mortgage guy, Don, will get you some numbers and explain the details. And then you decide if it makes sense for you to proceed. A reverse mortgage can be a lifesaver. So get the process started today with an expert and a friend that you could trust. Go to thatmortgagguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgagguydon.com.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, Leesburg, this Friday night, get ready for a full night of fun and excitement. Let's go mic on.
I thought it was on.
I was telling the people, lady looked so sad in there. She was just sitting in there on the blanket, just like.
Did you take a peek when I was gone?
I did. It was sad. Is she out now?
Yeah. Oh. She's on the couch.
Yeah, because she didn't want to be laying on a blanket in there. It's embarrassing. Okay, what are you doing?
I'm going to go to Spectrum and then...
You don't need a new iPhone. Your iPhone is perfectly fine. It takes nice photos.
My iPhone's like 8 years old.
My iPhone is older than your iPhone.
I use it more.
You do not use it more.
For creative.
For creative things?
Yeah.
I don't do anything creative?
Not on your iPhone.
Should Courtney get a new iPhone, yes or no? New iPhone, yes or no? Let's see. If they say yes, then you get a new iPhone. If they say no, then you never get a new iPhone ever.
Well, that's not going to work.
Actually, if they say no, you get an old iPhone.
They don't have any older ones.
Old one with like the thumbprint verification. And it barely works. Like an iPod Touch. Yes, yes, yes. Ask her, not us. Yes. No, I said yes. If you say yes, she gets a new iPhone. If you say no, she doesn't. So no is what we're looking for. No. Oh, let's ask Mr. Predicto. Is Courtney going to get a new iPhone?
The answer is unclear.
Try
again.
Oh. You want to try again?
Sure.
Will you abide by Mr. Predicto?
No.
Yeah, then I'm not doing it.
What does it matter?
Is Courtney going to get a new iPhone?
I would not count on it.
Me either. Sucker. Take that. What do you want?
For Publix?
Yeah.
You just need chicken?
Yep. Keep it under $10.
It's not gonna happen.
I said keep it under $10. 15 max.
Anything else?
No. Did I say I need anything else?
Oh, I just asked
Okay. See you later, alligator.
you. Monkeys?
No, I don't want a monkey. Get out of here. Banish. $10 at Publix in this economy? En esta economía? $10 can go a long way with some BOGOs, baby. It's just the truth. You go to Publix and you get them BOGOs. We went to Publix the other day, right? And we were going to have Cornish hens. And when we have them, Courtney and I could split one Cornish hen. Perfect meal, delicious, lovely, great in every way. You have to buy 2 Cornish hens. So we're like, okay, we'll have 2 meals of Cornish hen at some point in time. It was BOGO. We got 4 goddamn Cornish hens. That's a lot. 4 Cornish hens is 4 full meals for people. And I think the Cornish hens are only like, I don't know, $12 or something. It wasn't shockingly expensive. Put a little yellow rice with it, a little bit of peas with it. We're talking a full-ass meal for like $7 or $8 for 2 people. The world is not expensive if you shop in a smart way. All right, folks, we're coming back. Skull mic deactivated.
Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Up for grabs is the ultimate backyard from Orlando Backyard Living. Win a roof from Eustis Roofing, solar from Solar Source, a cooling system from Mills Air, or a whole house filtration system from Pure Touch Water Filters. Get more details and enter all 4 of these contests at realradio.fm/contests.
Roger Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
12 years in solitary.
Broke up with jail more than you ever prison in Canada.
The Go Boy podcast is the gritty true crime story of daring prison escapes, risky bank robberies, and swift police arrests. And the man who fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable to go from an ex-con to a best-selling author almost overnight. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Go Boy, and start listening today.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
Now, we will be doing Fritz on the Street, the greatest game in all of radio. So come along on a journey with us and have some fun here on the show. Learn more about what goes down at thenewsjunkie.com. The story out of the Dominican Republic, which is a very interesting place, beautiful place you can visit. It's the other side of Haiti, on the island of Hispaniola. One side is Haiti, which is really rough. The other side is the Dominican Republic, which is full of tourism and has a decent economy and kind of a beautiful place to go to. It's this weird dichotomy of rich and poor, right next to each other on one island, for God's sake.
And on the Dominican Republic, or the DR, as they say, there is a club that we talked about yesterday. And inside this club, the Jet Set Club, they were all partying, enjoying themselves. And as we saw, the roof collapsed in on this club. And the whole damn roof fell in on this club. Now, the death toll from this has skyrocketed to 98 people.
Oh, my God. I just saw 66.
Really? This morning I have 98 people.
That's
it could
insane.
be.
Oh, they're
like
still
the numbers,
probably going through the rubble.
Yeah, definitely are. Their search and rescue operations are going on right now. That's how bad this was. They said, with deep sorrow, we can confirm the number of deceased has risen to 98 people. We extend our condolences and reaffirm our absolute commitment to each of the affected families. And who knows, man? There was a singer on stage. Anybody familiar with merengue singer Ruby Perez? R-U-B-B-Y. R-U-B-B-Y.
That sounds like a Ruby.
P-E-R-E-Z. Ruby Perez
I love
was
merengue.
the person on the stage. And they said the owner of the club was out of the country when this went down, but the roof caved in, and now they got almost 100 people have died. Sour Patch Pete on Twitch says, thought I saw like 138. It's skyrocketing. It's like unbelievably high, and just a terrible thing to see. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I do kind of question the structural rigidity or like the safeness of any kind of place that I go in. When I hear stories like this, I look around. I'm like, is this okay? Everything all right around here? We're going to be doing okay? And you never know.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd look up at a roof and be like, is this entire thing going to come down?
Yeah, this is all going to fall down on us, and like a whole bunch of people are going to be dead, which is what played out there in the Dominican Republic at this club. So we're watching that story as the time ticks on to see what's going on. Are you going to be talking about, of all things, Celebrity Big Brother in the next episode?
No. I mean,
okay.
I did see the story about Mickey Rourke. Wild man.
Mickey Rourke.
Has no idea what's going on. Who let him on the show?
It's like this culture clash, C-Lane. It's almost something beautiful to behold. Do you know, C-Lane, who JoJo Siwa is? You know
the singer, right? Yeah.
Used to be
She's a singer.
on Dance Moms.
She was
That's
on the
where she
Dance Moms
started.
show. She's a YouTuber, and she is not very well liked by a lot of people. She's pretty annoying. And
I have a love-hate thing going on because the stuff that, especially in the last year or so, where she's an adult now and she's making a name for herself, and just the ridiculous crap that comes out of her mouth is always a gift. And I also am amazed that she has been on a lot of reality shows. She was on that like military training one.
Yeah, I saw
where
that.
she had
I saw
to
the
carry
preview.
Tom Sandoval, and now she's on Celebrity Big Brother.
She's funny because you watch these young celebrities sometimes, and when they turn to adults, they struggle a little bit.
She has an annoying face.
She does. They
Means
struggle
well,
a little
I'm sure.
bit. And like, so Miley Cyrus, when she was becoming an adult, she turned 18, she started to get sexualized and put herself out there more and get tattoos, and oh my God, she's smoking a bong. And a lot of young celebrities do that. And I watch and I go, okay, this is a rite of passage. You're turning from a kid into an adult in front of everybody's eyes. But when JoJo Siwa does it, everything she does is the cringiest person you've ever known doing it.
It's so memeable. That is so much meme.
She runs out on stage, C-Lane, and she goes, I'm going to show everybody how cool an adult I am now. And she grabs a bottle of Fireball and swigs it back. But when she starts to swig it back, she gets the taste of the Fireball, and she's like, and recoils, and like.
She also talks like this. Dream guest on my podcast. I guess one of my exes.
I don't know why they signed up Mickey Rourke for
Can't
UK
quote movies,
celebrity.
but I can quote JoJo Siwa.
Celebrity Big Brother in the UK. I don't know why they decided to get Mickey Rourke, but they did. And look at this clash of cultures that happens here. So Mickey Rourke goes into the Big Brother house, the Celebrity Big Brother
I have
house.
no clue where to go.
And he doesn't know where he's going. All right. He walks through the door to the entire house that he's not met any of these people yet. He's just walking into the house. And JoJo Siwa is leading everybody on a conga line by Mickey Rourke that they want to immediately rope him into.
Wait, let me watch so second.
I think Mickey Rourke at this moment is like, what? What am I doing? I was in The Wrestler.
Can I leave now?
Yeah, this is a weird fit. This is not.
Oh, did you not grab the clip of him trying, I don't know what part it is, to vote someone out or in?
And he didn't know how to do it?
And he's like standing in front of 3 pillars, and the narrator's like, who are you going to pick? And he goes, the one in pink.
He doesn't know
Mickey,
who anybody is.
Do you mean JoJo? Yeah. Okay, why? Because I like the color pink. And that's it.
So you're sure you want to get rid of her? Conga.
How's everybody?
This is my nightmare, legitimately, right here. I'd rather walk into an execution than walk into JoJo Siwa leading a conga line as I enter the Celebrity Big Brother house. No, thank you, friend. We have time for one. No, we don't, actually. Dispatch is back on ice. We will get to you. And we will get to Fritz on the street. That's coming up in just a few on the show, so make sure that you're paying attention. And maybe even you pop out a chat message or message somewhere that gets our attention so that we will pick you to represent on Fritz on the street. And right now, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? How would you like a piece of a tour van that Kurt Cobain sat in once? It could be yours. Bill Gates has now shared with the world what he's going to leave his 3 children, and it's not a lot. Just kidding. Plus, great news, everybody. Billy McFarlane has proof that Firefest 2 is happening. But proof is in quotes. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for today, we're expecting just a picture-perfect day across Central Florida. Temperatures will be actually a degree or 2 below normal with a high of around 79 degrees in Orlando. As we look ahead towards the end of this week, temperatures will be approaching the mid-80s before a cold front arrives. That is going to give way to some cooler but pleasant temperatures for the weekend with highs right around the mid to upper 70s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk will help you get what you need right away. And with their pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, they'll help you get back on the job fast. Just visit them at the Pro Desk. They help you save.
Spring is here, the perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Save up to $2,000 this season. Get started at JannyRoofing.com.
Offer only applies on full roof replacement. Expires May 31st, 2025.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Looking for affordable blinds, shades, or shutters for your home? Don't hire an expensive pro. Check out Blindster.com, where we offer custom-made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This.
Fritz on the Street will be happening here on the show. The greatest game in all of radio. Be ready to play along when that goes down here in just moments. If you miss any of the show, join the hordes of people who either watch back on YouTube on demand. You could find the YouTube on demand on thenewsjunkie.com each day in the featured section there. Or you can subscribe to the podcast, available on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Hello, podcast people. Thanks for being with us. Everybody say hi to the podcast people. We say hi to the
podcast people.
There you go. See, good people. We love the podcast people. Thank you for being there. Now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Why don't we send some airmail correspondence to Tehran?
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. That's his website. Very easy to navigate through. Chock full of information for you, like how to compare your quote. If you haven't compared your first mortgage, then what the heck are you doing? You know, you could be saving some money. And that mortgage guy, Don, is here to guide you, show you all the ways. because he's a good friend and he's a very smart friend. Get the process started by going to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Don't miss the boat. Come on. With thatmortgageguydawn.com.
It was 13 years ago, the year 2012, and this show right here on Broadway.
Lion King.
The Lion King is right. And on this day, it passed The Phantom of the Opera as the highest grossing Broadway show of all time.
Damn.
Everything the light touches is yours. Phantom is now number 3. The Lion King has made how much money since it opened in 1997?
I got this. I actually happen to know this. Is a huge fan of the Broadway production of Lion King.
Is this just New York or is this worldwide?
I just have that one line. So.
All the way. It is $1.3 billion.
Okay. Celine, would you like to give it a go?
$1.2 billion.
Sean, you zagged when you should have zagged. It's $2 billion. Since 1997. Wicked has made $1.7 billion since it opened in 2003.
Wickedly talented.
And the wickedly talented. What was it? The wickedly talented. There's another. The Phantom of the Opera has made $1.4 billion since it opened in 1988. So, I mean, by the looks of it, won't Wicked surpass The Lion King at some point?
Maybe. The Lion King holds strong. It's a pretty fun time. I've seen some of that, and it was a pretty fun looking show.
Keep seeing commercials. I guess it's coming to town soon.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting. Are you going to go?
I would go. That's one of the shows that I would be interested in seeing. Some of them I have no interest in. Some Broadway shows I'm like, damn, that was good. Yeah, so I would see that for sure.
I'd like to go.
Would you guys like to go to Firefest 2?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like,
I'm going to go no on that one.
So far, 2 Mexican cities have said, we don't know what Billy's talking about. It's no permits here. We do not know of this event. And Billy's like, that's a lie. I got this all planned, man. I don't know if they've announced any artists so far. I did see a TikTok this morning of an artist who was approached to be a performer. And the initial offer was free hotel and airplane ticket.
Damn, I saw a couple artists that were booked.
No artist fees. And then she said, no, I like money. So then they came back with another fee. And then she said no again. So what artist do we have now?
Spotted Candelabra is going to be playing, I believe. One-Handed Jaguar is supposed to be performing.
Oh, they broke up?
Yeah. We're getting back together for this tournament. Fibrillation is going to be there, and they're playing a big show, like with a crowd sing-along kind of thing that they're going to be doing.
See what you mean, yeah. All right. So last week, Playa del Carmen became the second location to deny involvement in Firefest 2. Over the weekend, though, Billy McFarland and fellow organizers posted documents on Instagram. Proof, baby, as they were working to lawfully host an event. And in news that should surprise absolutely nobody, the permits were for an event, indeed. It authorizes a little more than a multi-day listening party.
Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't actually secured the rights for a live performance.
The documents include an initial permit for March 18th, authorizing Firefest 2 to take place in Martina Beach Club, maximum capacity of 250 people.
That's pretty small.
You ready for it, though? You get a whole 12 total hours to listen to music.
I think it was 12 hours a night, but it's still...
From each day between... it's 12 hours total, from midnight to 4 a.m. Each day between May 30th and June 1st. So
midnight
this
is when it
starts? It's going to be real pop. What do you do during the day?
Yeah. It's just
on
sitting
an
there
island.
Eating my end-of-the-world sandwich.
They got to have... all the influencers need beach time to take their Instagram shots.
Right.
But, yeah, the permit that they had was for música grabada, which is recorded music.
That is correct, a listening party, because the festival hasn't even received permission for live performances. The operating permit issued on March 26 only authorizes, like C-Lane said, música grabada. So,
does this dude have a disease or something?
He has investors I don't understand. Also, tickets no longer on sale.
You could argue, though, if you were Billy McFarland. Billy, right?
Billy.
Yeah.
William.
If you could argue that if all the lineup is DJs, then it would just be all recorded music.
But no microphone? Soldout.com is the ticket partner for buying tickets. Oh, wait. They dropped out as the official ticketing partner.
Things are going well. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's this clip I never thought I'd use again.
What to do? Surprise. We're all getting scammed.
Ryan Adams. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is doing really great. I just want to give you some good news. And by that, I mean someone go pick him up and tell him to stay home for a little bit. He stormed off stage during a set in Belfast that has been described by fans as, quote, chaos. Looking up. Singer-songwriter was playing at Waterfront Hall over the weekend at a show to mark the 25th anniversary of his debut solo album, Heartbreaker. He was halfway through the set when he just abandoned the stage, saying, "Stop effing flashing. I warned you, you could kill me. I have epilepsy and I might mess this up. Meniere's disease? Meniere's?
Sorry.
You thought it was talking about knockers.
I only caught a little bit of that. I was like,
stop flashing me. I meant with the cell phone lights. I'm sorry.
I was like, does he think he's going to get like an elevated heartbeat because like
too
his
many
BPMs?
boobs, man.
Is it possible to have somebody that famous with epilepsy like perform a show? You would think that
photogs and all that.
Yeah.
So he said, "F you. I'm not coming back until you stop flashing your cell phone lights and not boobs." And then I guess throughout the venue, they'd put up signs against the use of flash photography. But who listens to that? He did return to the stage nearly half an hour later, telling the 1,400-strong audience that he had suffered an epileptic seizure.
It's a hard one.
Say that 5 times fast. It was, however, not the only moment of erratic behavior. The greatest movie ever made, to one fan, said this. A lot of comments coming in on X/Twitter. Ryan Adams at the Waterfront has been an experience? ? Can't say I have been to a gig like the Ryan Adams one tonight. Struggling to describe the chaos of Ryan Adams, and the complaints go on and on.
What's his love song that I know? There's one that's just like there on the tip.
This one is supposed to be the number one off that.
I don't know if I know this one.
He was the one that had the like weird spiky frosted tips, right? Like,
no, that's Ryan Cabrera, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay, yeah. But he is the one that was with Mandy Moore and was considered to be kind of abusive.
I don't know.
I thought that was Ryan Cabrera.
All right, I got nothing, man.
He's got a song called "To Be Young Is to Be Sad Is to Be Old," and that's the only one I know of his. But it's
miserable.
It's a great song.
It come with a rope.
It's a great song. It was in Old School.
For what? Boat nuts? Hey, Fritz.
Hey, for hanging yourself.
Bill Gates is, for some reason, sharing with the world as everyone panics with their 401ks and the stocks what he is going to give his kids when he done dies.
Hey, I'm rich.
He revealed that he will leave his 3 children less than 1% of his wealth.
Are they less than 1% each, or are they all splitting the less than 1%?
Well, but you're going to find out.
Yeah. Why don't you just hold your damn horses, Elaine? Jesus Christ. They disclose it to a podcaster saying the 3 kids will inherit less than 1%. Forbes estimates his worth to be $101.2 billion. So 1% is still $1 billion.
Man, that ain't bad. You're still doing okay, right?
Still didn't get the answer to my question.
It doesn't
ask it
say,
again.
Elaine.
Ask it again.
It doesn't. Ask me again.
Are they splitting less than 1%?
I really don't know,
each of them get less than 1%?
My kid's got a great upbringing, education. He does not answer the question. I'm guessing they each get 1%.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Ask him yourself.
Billion apiece. Ask Fritz. He said he's one of his children.
Fritz, do you know?
Yeah.
Are you all splitting 1%?
Daddy didn't leave me anything in the will.
Son of a bitch. Unbelievable.
What to do? Surprise. We're all getting scammed.
On the boob tube. Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, Bill Hader, Johnny Knoxville, and Bartees Strange. Episode 4 of Seth Rogen's The Studio. I've started watching. I love it.
So good.
I love it so much.
Real
Celebrity
good.
Jeopardy semifinals number 2. And What Would You Do on ABC? You can catch, wait for it, Lizzo and Tim Robinson on Seth Meyers. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Still need someone to represent for Fritz on the Street, so give me a shout and say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. When we come back, Fritz on the streets.
Let's go.
The greatest game in all of radio, and the greatest host who's ready to bring you through it just moments from right now. And who are we going to pick? That's the big question here. Is it going to be you? Because I'm going to represent somebody, Sabrina's going to represent somebody, and C-Lane is going to represent somebody. If we win, you win. You get your hands on an exclusive magnet for Game of Magnets designed by Fritz, and you get bragging rights along with us in the game. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio wants to make your dream home makeover a reality. Enter today for your chance to upgrade your home in several different ways. All brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Get the details at realradio.fm/contests.
There's a crash affecting the ramp from Maitland Boulevard eastbound to Orange Blossom Trail. There's still slowdowns on I-4 eastbound through that Champions Gate area. Delays between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. Look out for a disabled vehicle off to the shoulder on Florida's Turnpike southbound south of Hancock Road. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Looking for affordable blinds, shades, or shutters for your home? Don't hire an expensive pro. Check out Blindster.com, where we offer custom-made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Are you all worked up and working too much? You know what y'all need? Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to have fun. Y'all need some adventure. Why, y'all need Gatorland. How do we know? Ain't no one got more animals, more gators, or more fun than Gatorland. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less. With $17.50 admission now through the end of April. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland.
Watch the seaplanes take off and enjoy the lake life at Puddle Jumpers on beautiful Lake Dora in Tavares. This Friday, join the monsters in the morning at Puddle Jumpers for some big dumb fun during our live lakeside broadcast, 6A to 11A. Then stick around for lunch with the monsters and get your weekend started right. Puddle Jumpers in Tavares, burgers, steaks, seafood, and sunsets. Don't miss the monsters in the morning live broadcast and lunch with the monsters this Friday.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
It was a nightmare. We felt stuck.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking...
Hold tight, folks. School mic activated. Who should I pick to represent Fritz on the street? First question, YouTube or Twitch? Because I got to decide platform first. Am I going to represent somebody from YouTube or Twitch? YouTube or Twitch? The one that gets the most mentions will be the platform I pick, and then I'll pick somebody from there. YouTube or Twitch? Twitch is like a small, strong army like the Navy SEALs. And YouTube is like the army, right? Like actual ground force troops where all the people are. Not a specialized group. So Twitch or YouTube? Oh my God, Twitch is not even in the question. But some of YouTube is saying Twitch. Oh God, YouTube is just walking away with it. Twitch is on a lunch break. They're saying YouTube or grunts? Grunts it is. I'm picking from YouTube. Now, who am I going to represent Fritz on the street? If I see a new name, I will pick you. Anybody new that's just been sitting there, just hovering over the keyboard, waiting for a moment to jump in to chat and go, hey, hi, hello. But scared to hit that enter button. and I've never seen your name in chat before. That's the person who I'm going to represent at Fritz on the Street today. I want to see somebody brand new, never posted a message on YouTube chat, but it's ready to go right now. Jacob Rogers. Jacob Rogers, you are it. You are it. I'll be picking you and Fritz on the Street today. Jacob Rogers. You better bring me good luck. Hang on, I gotta write your name down. Jacob Rogers. YouTube. Bring me good luck. I was banned for a joke says 2 first names. Rogers isn't a first name. Jacob is. Ain't nobody named Rogers. Mr. Rogers, last name. Kenny Rogers, last name. Do I have to go on and on? Rogers is quite obviously a last name and not a first name. The S amended to the end of the Roger transforms it completely into a whole new thing, which is in no way a first name. In fact, I would argue there hasn't been many, if any, Rogers first name born in the United States of America. Rogers Christofferson or something? It doesn't make any sense. Wasson is as much of a first name as Rogers is. Roy Rogers, again. Rogers is a last name, not as a first name. Okay, folks, coming back in 45 seconds. All right, hang tight.
Because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
Radio, and you can play along with us. In fact, we're going to represent you. Each of us will pick somebody here in just a moment on the show for Fritz on the Street. The rules are simple. Fritz will lay them out for Fritz on the Street here momentarily. But first things first, we got to pick somebody to fight for in the greatest game in all of radio. And if we win, you win. And you get your hands on this, a very rare, very distinguished FOTS Hitman magnet.
Look at that.
I got to check the supply of these because there is not many left, only a handful, and then we're going to get the new Fritz design in and see what that sucker looks like. But this one's a really highly collectible magnet from Game of Magnets, and you can see them all at thenewsjunkie.com. But I will be playing for Jacob Rogers over on YouTube. That's who I'm going to fight for today and Fritz on the Street. What about you, Sabrina?
Reached out to me via Instagram, and thank you for that as I speak slower to remember Riddle Wine.
Riddle Wine
Wine
is who you're picking from Instagram. What about you, C-Lane?
I'm going to represent Smackerel, who asked a week or two ago, like a couple times when I already had people. So Smackerel,
that's nice to remember.
Got you today, bud.
What a nice guy. Look at him go. Now the most important question from sea to shining sea. Fritz, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Good.
All right. Confidence levels high. Let's do this thing. Let's do Fritz on the streets.
Now it's time for Fritz on the street.
Hello, Sean. Hello, Celine. Hello, Sabrina.
Hi, Fritz.
Hey, Fritzy boy.
Yeah.
Fritz on the Street, sponsored by Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go, just call Mo 1-800-CALL-MO. That's 1-800-CALL-MO. In first place with 89 points, we have Miss Sabrina Ambra.
What up? What up?
In second place with 86 points, we have Mr. Christopher Lane.
Hello.
And in third place with 77 points, we have Mr. Sean Wasson.
All right.
89, 86, 77. Fritz on the Street. I go to the bars, so you don't have to. I ask 8 questions to whoever wants to participate. 4 current event questions and 4 general knowledge trivia questions. Your job, if you choose to accept it, is to guess how many out of 8 got that question right.
I accept, but one question.
Yes.
How'd it go last night at Fritz's Funhouse?
It was good. We had 5 teams, but we had 10 participants.
Good,
so
good.
people stuck around to do Fritz on the Street.
Nice. All right.
And that's
cool.
at Cavo's Bar and Kitchen.
I was going to say, where did that happen?
Yeah, thank you. Cavo's Bar and Kitchen each Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m.
In Thornton earlier that day, and there was a vibe. Like, everyone was hammered. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it was, maybe the Gator aftermath, but
Maybe the markets.
everyone was like blacked out. So I'm excited for these answers.
Either way, keep drinking. All right, if you guys are in, we can start the game.
That's a shirt waiting to happen right
Yeah.
there. Either way, keep drinking.
All right, question number 1 of 8. Last week, which celebrated American... Sabrina.
Oh, almost cursed. Celebrated American. It's a tough one. Tough day that they passed. And they were certainly celebrated in America and beyond. And that was...
Buzz Lightyear.
That is not a real person. Crazy. Oh my God, it's right there. I can see his face. Dead face. Or her dead face. Buzz Aldrin.
That's incorrect.
I know.
I'd like to hear the
question.
question.
Yeah.
Last week, which celebrated American actor passed away at the age of 65?
Yeah. Go ahead. What about now?
Sean.
Oh my God, I know.
Show me George.
C-Lane.
That is incorrect. C-Lane.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer is correct.
God.
C-Lane, out of 8 answers, how many do
going
you
on in the
think
news.
said Val Kilmer?
I thought it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, it seemed like longer ago. I'm going to go with 6.
6 for C-Lane.
Wow. I didn't mess that up. I'll say 4.
4 for Sean.
I'm going to go crazy and say 5.
And 5 for Sabrina. Question number 1 with answers of 4, 5, and 6.
Ding, 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 ding.
Somebody
Sorry, Val.
knows their Batman. Which celebrated American actor passed away at the age of 65?
The Iceman, Val Kilmer.
The Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Gene Hackman. Just blank. Pass. I have no idea.
Gene Hackman?
Val Kilmer.
I'm your huckleberry.
That would be 4. Yes. So, Sean, you're picking up 2 points, and Sabrina, with your guess of 5, picking up 1 point.
Okay.
That means we're moving on to question 2, because that comes right after question 1.
Math.
Question 2. What inert gas gets trapped in the blood when a diver gets the bends? Sean.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen is correct.
What are you, a diver?
Sean, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said the nitrogen, rather?
I think 5.
5.
4.
4 for C-Lane.
3.
And 3 for Sabrina. Question 2 with answers of 3, 4, and 5. What inert gas gets trapped in the blood when a diver gets the bends?
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen. Nitrogen. Nitrogen. Carbon dioxide, I believe. Carbon dioxide.
Nitrogen?
Oh my God, I know this one too, and it's like right on the tip of my tongue because nitrogen poisoning. I just played a game with it.
Okay.
Played a game with the bins? That's not advised, by the way.
Dangerous, yeah.
Sounds fun.
Sean, with your guess of 5, picking up 1 point. He was probably referring to a video game, but I have no clue. Can't confirm that. Question 3. Recently, which French far-right politician was convicted of embezzlement and banned from seeking office for 5 years?
Sean?
Le Pen is correct.
Yeah.
Sean, out of 8 answers,
Say
how
Le
many
Pencil.
do you think said Marine Le Pen?
3.
2.
1.
2 for Sabrina and 1 for C-Lane. Question 3. With answers of 1, 2, and 3.
Ding, 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 ding.
Somebody knows their Frenchies. Recently, which French far-right politician was convicted of embezzlement and banned from seeking office for 5 years?
Don't know the name. I know it's a girl. I know it's
Is it Le Pen?
Marine Le Pen.
Napoleon. I don't know.
Vive la France. I don't know.
Macron.
Oh, the pass.
That would be 2. So Sabrina's picking up 2 points on that one, and C-Lane and Sean with your guess of 1 and 3, each picking up 1 point.
All right.
Question 4, that's the halfway point. After question 4, I'll tell you who so far is winning on the day. And that leads us to question 4. In what Arthur Miller play does the main character...
Sean.
Death of a Salesman? That is correct.
Yeah.
Full question. In what Arthur Miller play does the main character have 2 sons named Biff and Happy? That and The Crucible. Those are the only 2 that I know. Sean, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Death of a Salesman?
4.
2.
2 for C-Lane.
1.
And 1 for Sabrina. Question 4. With answers of 1, 2, and 4.
Ding, 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 ding.
Who knows their Biff and Happy? In what Arthur Miller play does the main character have 2 sons named Biff and Happy?
Oklahoma. Not ringing a bell. Pass. Is that the producers?
It's pass. Back to the Future.
I only know one, and that's Death of a Salesman.
That would be 1.
Go!
Sabrina's picking up 2 points on that one, and C-Lane with her guess of 2 picking up 1 point.
Damn.
And that does it. 4 questions down, 4 remaining. In first place so far with 7 points, we have Sean/Jacob Rogers. In second place with 5 points, Sabrina/Riddlewine.
Yummy.
And in third place with 3 points, C-Lane/Smackerel. Question 4 upcoming. Question 5 upcoming.
Going backwards.
Yep. Roughly $6.6 trillion have been wiped from the stock market due to President C-Lane.
Tariffs.
Tariffs are correct.
Beautiful word.
Full question. Roughly $6.6 trillion have been wiped from the stock market due to President Trump's regulatory policies involving what? C-Lane, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said tariffs?
We'll go with an 8.
8.
How much money did you say?
$6.6 trillion.
Just evaporated?
Gone.
Ah, damn.
You're gonna get it back?
We need magic. I'll say 8.
8 for Sean.
Everyone sounded normal.
Mm-hmm.
No one hammered.
Except for the Back to the Future lady.
Whatever, dude. Biff is a great name. I'll go with 8.
And 8 for Sabrina. Question 5 with answers of 8, 8, and 8. Roughly $6.6 trillion have been wiped from the stock market due to President Trump's regulatory policies involving what?
Beautiful tariffs.
Tariffs.
International trade?
Tariffs. Was it tariffs? Tariffs.
That would be
It
7.
was international trade. Don't ever let him play anymore.
That guy tried to get the word tariffs out of his brain, and there was just a little hamster on a wheel up there.
Well, he was playing the bins earlier.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So that means everyone's picking up 1 point because you guys were 1 off. Question 6. 3 remaining now. What fictional language do the Sims speak? Sabrina.
Oh, Simlish.
That is correct.
Damn it.
What do you mean?
Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Simlish?
Not international trades going.
No. Maybe, though.
5.
3.
3 for C-Lane.
Courtney can speak in it. It's one of the not hottest things she can do.
Yeah, right. You so asked her to do it before bedroom
Give me a
stuff.
little Simlish, baby. 3.
And 3 for Sean. Question 6 with answers of 3 and 5.
Ding, 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 ding.
Somebody knows their zany Sims. What fictional language do the Sims speak?
Dude, I don't know. Some kind of garbly. I don't know.
Right.
Simsies. Simlish.
Simlish.
Finnish.
Pass on that one. Simlish. No idea. Never played the game. Pass.
Mo.
That would be 3. So Sean and C-Lane picking up 2 points, and the Benz guy did know Simlish.
What did the other guy say? Some kind of gargly or something?
Yeah, some kind of gargly. And then what was funny, I think in the question, I say which fictional language, and someone says Finnish. So, all right.
Fake language.
2 questions remaining. Question 7. On Monday, which college won the 2025... Sabrina.
That is the University of Florida.
That is correct. University of Florida. On Monday, which college won the 2025 NCAA Division I Men's Championship? Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said the Gators?
Oh, I don't know with this group. 8.
8?
You good, dude?
6.
6 for Sean.
My thinking boys.
7.
And 7 for
Thinking
C-Lane. Question 8 with answers of 6, 7, and 8.
Ding, 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 ding,
Come
ding.
on, baby.
Watch the whole game. Sloppy as hell. On Monday, which college won the 2025 NCAA Division I Men's Championship?
Gators. It's Florida Gators. Come on.
Florida.
University of Florida.
At the University of Florida.
Florida Gators. Let's go Gators.
Pass.
Are you? 7. Who was it? Who was it? Was it the international trade guy?
I just think it's funny because Mo goes, come on, get out of here. Easy question.
Oh, he's having me sweat.
Pass. 7. That means C-Lane is picking up 2 points, and Sean and Sabrina with your guesses of 6 and 8 each picking up 1 point. Moving on now to question 8. But before we do, let's take a look at the leaderboard. We have in first place with 11 points Sean/Jacob Rogers, and in second and third place with 9 points each, Sabrina/Riddle Wine and C-Lane/Smackerel. Question 8. It all comes down to this. 11 and 9. Addis Ababa is the capital of which African country? Sabrina.
That would be Ethiopia.
That is correct.
Oh, my God.
That's a hell of a guess. You got it right. Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Ethiopia?
2.
2.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe I guessed it. Oh, I also forgot what the name was.
2.
2 for Sean.
That's a thinking grunt. I know him. I know him when I hear him. That's a thinking grunt. 1.
And 1 for C-Lane. Question 8 with answers of 1 and 2.
Ding, 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 ding.
Come on.
Who knows their Ethiopia? Addis Ababa is the capital of which African country?
Ethiopia.
I don't know. I don't know that one. Somalia.
Damn it, it's going to be 2.
Niger. Cameroon. It's gotta be Morocco.
Wow.
That would be 2. That means Sean and Sabrina's picking up a 3-pointer, and Sean is picking up 2 points. C-Lane is also picking up 1 point. And that means in first place, winning by 1 point, but 13 points overall, Sean/Jacob Rogers. In second place with 12 points, Sabrina/Riddle Wine. And in third place with 10 points, C-Lane/Smackerel. That means, in first place, and still leading on Fritz on the Street with 102 points, Sabrina Ambra. In second place with 96 points, C-Lane. And in third place with 90 points, Sean Wasson. And that is Fritz on the Street.
Thank you, Fritz.
Fritzy. Good times.
Excellent job, as always, Fritz.
That was a lot of math right there, really quick.
Man, I don't know how your brain does it. You're making I saw the numbers flying by you, like a beautiful mind, you know.
I thought it was Goodwill Hunting.
Then you is it Goodwill Hunting when you grab them all and bring them in? and then bam, just make sense of it. It's an amazing feat.
That's Dragon Ball Z, actually.
Thank you.
Either way, Dragon Ball Z, only seen about 5 seconds of it in my entire life, but
My brother loved it.
Yeah, here's great.
people seem to like it. People seem to be into that whole thing. All right, we are going to hear from you. Hopefully, Fritz will hang out with us. Will you, Fritz?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. All right, Fritz is going to hang out with us here
He
today.
doesn't seem like he wants to hang out.
He's weighing. He's like, I could do some work
He's
in the
also
backyard.
doing another math moment right here.
He's like, I could go tend to my gigantic, beautiful caterpillars in my backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Or I could stick around for the show.
And also sunflowers.
Beautiful back there. Really, really great backyard all around.
And his butt.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Fritz. Make sure you're following him over on thenewsjunkie.com/share. You'll see Fritz, and you'll see all of the social media platforms you can follow him on. And then I implore you, you need to go to Fritz's Funhouse Trivia. It is a fun time. It's a great place. It's at Cavo's. And you can go there, play trivia, maybe even get on Fritz on the street, and just enjoy yourself. You deserve as much, I would think. So we'll come back with him and with you and with Elon Musk fighting the Trump administration a little bit, and more messages from that teacher that got in trouble for having sex with a 15-year-old student. What was she writing about him on her phone? What's her husband saying?
Eggplant.
Lots of questions, and that is all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the show, we talk about the controversy surrounding the police shooting an autistic kid with a knife. Plus, a guy tries to cash in a big fine. At 4 o'clock, it's Animal House with the Central Florida Zoo. We'll talk to Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel. For trivia, it's tickets to brews around the zoo, UB40, and the Orlando Valkyries. Plus, your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple accidents to look out for this afternoon on Edgewater Drive where it meets Forest City Road, a crash on Old Winter Garden Road at Quintard Avenue. Look out for an accident affecting the ramp from Maitland Boulevard eastbound to Orange Blossom Trail. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 in your regular areas this afternoon. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
It's never been done before. iHeartRadio and America's favorite TV show, Wheel of Fortune, come together for 1 week only. Music lovers from across the country play for incredible iHeartRadio experiences.
iHeartRadio Jingle Ball Concert. Music Festival. iHeartRadio Music Award.
And you can win too. Play along all week at WheelOfFortune.com and you could find yourself at an unforgettable iHeartRadio event.
Start spinning. Good luck.
All this week.
iHeartRadio Week on Wheel of Fortune with me, Ryan Seacrest. Check it out.
Don't miss TK Law. Trendley Kramer Law calls every Wednesday at 8:35 on the Monsters in the Morning. Ray Trendley and the Monsters will be discussing all things law, from the latest celebrity legal troubles to what's going on out there.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
It's tax season, and your refund just found a new home, the saddle of a pre-owned Harley. Space Coast Harley-Davidson is rolling out the IRS Inventory Reduction Sale. Pre-owned bikes priced to move, some at 50% below original MSRP, and many still have the remainder of factory warranty. Don't let your refund sit. Put it towards 2 wheels and pure freedom. Shop now at SpaceCoastHarleyDavidson.com and lock in your ride before these bikes disappear.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
It was a nightmare. We felt stuck.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee you, if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-981-4455. 800-981-4455. 800-981-4455.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here from my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I love that feeling I get when I do a friend or a family member a solid, and I feel like telling people about Life Imaging FLA.
Scope mic activated.
Yo, big breaking news. Breaking news. Big, massive breaking news. Trump has pivoted. Big breaking news. Trump has pivoted. The markets are on fire right now and could regain maybe a bunch of what we've lost over the last 5 days. We'll get into the details on what exactly is happening, but Trump has essentially said, let's go, and launched a full-scale trade war with China and rescinded the tariffs on all of the other countries. He said many countries have reached out and worked on deals, so they've paused the tariffs on all of the countries except for China. So a more direct trade war with just China will now happen, and the markets are exploding as a result. China tried to make a move and say, we'll call your bluff, and Trump did the old switcheroonie on the Chinese. And the markets are on fire right now. We got the whole statement coming up and the reaction and what's happening in just a moment. Trump is saying a pause on all tariffs except for China. China brought out the saber and rattled it. Everybody else was pretty chill about things. And then Trump said, well, now we have a target. The target is China. We're going to have 120% tariffs on China, I believe is what he said. And we're going to pause the tariffs on all of the other countries on the list. Chaos, pandemonium. What will happen next? We do not know. Only one thing is for sure. This is where you're going to hear about it when it does. When it happens, it's here. If you're over on YouTube, hit subscribe. It's free for you to do. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Breaking news. Breaking news. Markets exploding. Trump changes things around with the tariffs. We've got the details coming up in a minute. A lot of people saying fake news. Are you questioning me? Don't you know after all of these years that I am literally never wrong on these things? If I put my name down on something, I am literally never wrong on it. We're going to go into the details of what's happening, and the entire game just changed like that. Whole game just changed. I always trust a barefoot guy. All right, here we go. Coming back now.
On Purpose with Jay Shetty, and it's an episode everyone is talking about. Plus, Troy and Belisario shares what life has been like after Pretty Little Liars on Post Run High, and it might surprise you. And Amanda Knox joins Bobby Cass to talk about surviving prison and life nearly 20 years after being wrongfully accused.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
Wow. It's been a pretty wild change of events here. And we got some things to get you all caught up on. And you can get caught up on the show. In fact, if you'd like to, if you miss anything today, go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Big news. Big breaking news. The market has spiked almost 1,900 points and just exploded after Trump has sent out this post on True Social. All right, your 401k headed back in a direction, not reclaiming all of the losses here, but headed back based on this. This is a big change that's just happened right now. All right, this is the True Social post from President Trump. Based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, he says, I am hereby raising the tariff charged to China by the United States of America to 125% effective immediately.
All right.
At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Let me pause for a second and give you a little explainer. Yesterday, China said, oh, you're going to double our tariff? We're going to bring your tariff up to 84%. And then the United States is like, we're going to bring your tariff up to 104, whatever. We're going back and forth trade war with China. Xi Jinping from China goes out and says, we are going to work with everybody else, and we're going to create a new coalition, and we're not going to include the United States because of this. And then Trump says, all right, tariffs at 125% effective immediately on China. Then he says, conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solutions and trade barriers, tariffs, et cetera, at my strong suggestion, I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. What's up is down, what's left is right, up, down, left, right, and now we got to pause for 90 days. It says, thank you for your attention to this matter. That one post on True Social sent the markets spiraling in the other direction. Rollercoaster continues, up over 2,000 points as of right now, and looking at that 40,000 barrier again. But the day ain't even over, so we don't know what's going to happen.
Can he
where
unpause
it goes.
Same day?
No, we could. You could. Yes, yes,
okay.
you could. Yeah, you can unpause at any point in time.
Sick.
There are very few rules. You can. Everything is just made up on the moment and on the spot.
He's just got an Xbox controller with a start button on it. Just
Yeah. Rumors have it he said whackety sackety and hit a button and then boom, tariffs unpaused or paused.
And a Diet Coke came just out of nowhere.
At this point. So that's what we have. China is now the focus. Trump has shifted here strategically and said, oh, yeah, China, you want to saber rattle after I bring these tariffs against everybody? And then directly put the tariffs on China and pause them on everybody else, which will probably be more popular because people overall, well, I think Americans in general seem to have a pretty poor view of China. Whether they're right or wrong is a different thing, but they have a pretty poor view on China, and they think that trade with China is unfair. So I think people can understand China and tariffs much more so than they can, let's say, Canada and tariffs, right? Those are very, very different things and an easier game to play. So this is a big change here, and we'll see what happens as a result of these moves in the last bit. What a time to be alive. Yeah. There you go. All right, let's see what we got here. We got an update on this teacher. You guys remember the teacher. Christina Formella is her name.
The one, the last time we talked about her, we got the back of the cop car footage.
Yeah, and she was so blown away.
Where's my husband?
That they were going to arrest her. Let me see if I could find this. Yeah, she was in a video in the back seat of the cop car, and she's like, where's my husband? And her husband's going, wait, what's happening? Her husband, I guess, she convinced that she was dealing with a stalker. She said, this 15-year-old kid is my stalker, and I just can't get away from him. And the husband goes, okay, well, we'll fight this out, baby. I'm sure the husband is changing his mind a bit because now we have a notes app document from the teacher. Oh. And let's see what we all think about this. Maybe we think the teacher's guilty. Maybe she didn't do it. These are her notes, the teacher's notes, Christina Formella, from her own phone about the 15-year-old student.
She claims these are about her husband, but she says, I once again, from day effing one, called your next girlfriend, and somebody's name, you're so effing predictable and disgusting. Shocker. You cheated on me with her. All I was to you was somebody to F. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not any of that. I've just lost interest. I went back and screenshotted every single time that I said we should break up until after the wedding and after you graduated.
Oh.
After you graduated? What? Well, hang on just a moment. That doesn't sound like your husband.
And after her wedding?
Unless her husband is also 17?
You better hope so.
Maybe he's getting an MBA or something.
And every single effing time you came back and convinced me it would be fine. I initiated every single breakup, only for you to end things saying you couldn't get over it. You ruined us, the teacher said.
So weird.
She is.
That she's talking about a 15-year-old.
Yeah, she's talking about a kid here.
So it's not even like, it wasn't just sex. They were.
No.
They were a thing.
I mean, if you take this sentence here, Sabrina, I warned you we should have never started dating a long, long effing time ago. And you gaslit me and convinced me it was fine every single time because that's who you are. We will never, ever be together again. I'm not a second choice. Taylor. I'm the best thing you'll ever have, even with all of my mistakes. You once again waited and strung me along until it was convenient for you, she said. It broke me last time. This time it changed me. I'm not sad. Oh, God. Some of this stuff. I'm not sad. I'm effing mad that I let a 16-year-old F with me like that. I made a promise to myself saying I would never let any guy F with me like that ever. You literally are giving up the whole game here. You can't say that that's about your husband. It's about the 16-year-old. You even said it in the note right here. Oh, in the end, we both lost. You lost the girl who would have stuck with you through thick and thin, who would have changed everything about herself to make you happy. And I lost the person I was before I met you. Then it says, under a section entitled Manifestations, it read, Blank is going to reach out to me soon and try to fix things between us. In the meantime, I'm going to live my best life knowing he's not the person I thought he was and that he's beneath me.
Right.
Sure, he was beneath you.
The police document says, in addition, detectives found another note dated November 11th, 2024. It says the following. Blank and I will connect again soon in a positive way. We will both get the closure we need in order to move on in a healthy way. We will be able to be a part of each other's lives forever. We will be in each other's lives forever. We will be able to love each other while also living our own lives, she said. The case for this teacher, Christina Formella, looking worse by the minute, if I'm honest with you.
And I wish I would have saved it, but I could have sworn I saw footage of the husband, like, after the fact, like, finally realizing what had happened, and then just losing his mind, like, screaming. I don't know if it was ring cam or body cam. Screaming, crying.
See if you can find that.
I'm trying, but it's just her body cam footage.
Maybe we could find it during the break or something, because I'd like to hear that in jury duty.
Did you see it too?
I
feel
know,
crazy.
I believe I've seen something that was a story about his reaction. So I haven't actually seen the footage that you're talking about, but I saw somebody mentioning it at some point, and it's kind of wild to me. Fritz, any chance this woman is not going to jail for this?
0.
0, he says. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like she's going to be able to get her way out of this.
But I wonder, I mean, it depends. If she get a great lawyer, first offense, she has to be a predator, but doesn't have to see any jail time.
Right. I won't be a teacher anymore. I won't be involved in this.
There is such a dichotomy between this crime if the sexes were reversed, because I always, like when these things happen, you see those stupid Facebook posts where it's like, this mom is trying to sue this woman, saying that the student is going through stress. Yeah, maybe from high-fiving his friends.
You're right.
The line, Fritz, is that the child also broke his arm from excessive high fives.
Fritz is right. We do see this every time it's female teacher, especially if they're attractive, and then young male student.
But there is also a difference. Where look at the notes thing.
Well, clearly there's like, this teacher was really, really serious about whatever was going on between her and this child, right? Like
I can't even put my head in that situation where being in a like talking and flirting, and breaking up, and it's a 15-year-old. That's
Young
wild.
kid.
How old is she again?
She was in her 20s.
She's 19.
30. She's 30 years old.
She's 30? All right, she's 30 years old. He was 16 as they were talking about this. They had sex, and then she had all these things in her notes on her phone, and you just go, why on earth? And then you throw in what Fritz said, which he's exactly right about. And the strange thing is, I don't know, for some reason, it just seems less bad. It just does. It seems less bad when it's a teenage boy and a 30-year-old teacher, and you can see the text messages, and you know, like, he was a willing participant in this, right? Like,
or it's like, where's your head at? You know, I don't see any maturity whatsoever in a note like that.
Not in hers.
But then when she gets in the back of the cop car, she's like, where's my husband?
Yeah, well, how could this happen? You're taking me to jail? What do you mean? I don't go to jail. And then I think that wasn't she the one who said it was because she was pretty?
I believe so.
Like they're targeting
You're
me
under
because
arrest. You're too damn hot.
Too damn hot. Unbelievable. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll look for that clip and we'll grab some other ones related to
Find it.
I've got emails. I've got more Elon and Donald Trump friction teed up. More importantly, the story we talked about with this stabbing of Austin Metcalf, the young track and field guy who ended up dying with Carmelo Anthony from another school stabbing him in the heart. There are some new details on that one that I think are worth going over. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the stock market. We'll talk about the tariffs. Talk about all of these things in just a moment. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent.
The Magic will go for 4 straight wins tonight. They'll host Boston. Orlando's on the second leg of a back-to-back after they took down Atlanta. Florida topped the final college basketball coaches poll this season after they won the national championship. They were followed by Houston and Duke. And LeBron James is making history on the toy aisle. The NBA superstar is getting his very own Ken doll as Mattel's first ever ambassador for Barbie. I'm Scott Davidson.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will offer...
Go, Mike. Activate it. You know what's wild? Tell me what you think about this. What's wild? Wild, 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 wild. Tell me what you think about this. Trump posted on Truth Social at 9:37 a.m. So this morning, President Trump posts on his platform, Truth Social. He says, all caps, "This is a great time to buy!" Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. DJT. At 9:37 a.m., he says, "This is a great time to buy DJT." At 1:18, he announces a 90-day pause on the tariff. Insider trading? Hello? I have a mic on. You want me to turn it off?
Do they need to know about Spectrum?
Oh, hang on. What's she doing?
She's just getting up.
Big dog. All right. I got your review. 2 minutes. Godspeed. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
I might have road raged a tiny.
What'd you road rage at? The microphone's on.
I just fastly went past someone because they were
No,
driving.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't just fastly go past somebody.
I did.
No, you didn't.
They almost
No, you didn't.
let two other people cross the.
Did you honk your horn?
No, one time, but not that person.
Yeah. Another person you're raging on?
It was someone trying
Did
to.
you flick the middle finger?
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I did not. I had the turns too much on my car anyhow.
Did you yell?
In the car, yes.
They can't hear that though.
No.
Do they look back at you or are they fighting
I
you?
was going too fast to even see.
You have to stop doing that. Somebody's going to shoot you. These people are crazy.
It was a slow lady that didn't care if anyone was going to make that light or not.
I don't care. Even the old ladies you can't trust. People are taking out guns and shooting people. They're
Not
crazy.
with my car speeding past them.
Yeah, but I don't want you to get shot by some road rager.
I wasn't going to get shot by
Lady dog, get moving. No road raging. You did flick them off, didn't you?
No, I didn't. My finger got a little twitchy.
All right. I'm glad you're alive. See you later, alligator. Bye. President Trump announces 90-day pause on higher tariff for dozens of countries, but hikes levies on China to 125%. Holy cow. What a time to be alive. But he said at 9 o'clock this morning, now's a good time to buy. Trump said, now's a good time to buy. Now's a good time to buy at 9 a.m. Buy some stocks. And then at 1, he says, boom, let me flip it on its head, 90-day pause. It's like he was trying to give you a chance to insider trade. For the first time ever, the President of the United States was trying to give you a chance to insider trade. All right, we're coming back.
Best at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic feet all-purpose garden soil. Valid through 4/16. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This
Jury duty is on the way. And I don't know that there is a video, the reaction of the teacher's husband, actually. I think we might have crossed some wires. I know that there was a story that said the husband was kept in the dark about the teacher being with the teenager. Yes. And then, I think as the questioning was going on, he goes, yeah, that's some kid that's stalking her, apparently. And she kept him in the dark. But I think that maybe he knows now what was going on.
But in searching for this video that I thank you for at least agreeing that you saw something along those lines online.
Well, like this. Look, real quick. I hate to interrupt you, but this is what I'm talking about.
You?
See, you look. Yeah, I do. U.S. teacher accused of sexually abusing teen kept husband in the dark. Documents reveal. So there's just stuff about the husband's reaction. Go ahead.
But I'm not finding that. But I am seeing husband's still with her. Why this new husband? Why is he's still sticking around after all this?
Yeah.
And I'm also amazed that how many people
Till
glom
death do us part.
on. You could search her name on TikTok, and it's just everybody. They're in the corner saying the same story just to get the views.
They got the
over and over.
Do they have the
again.
lavalier mic in their fingers?
Yeah.
And they're,
Oh, I hate that.
And they're
so annoying.
they're just not saying anything. Check this out. Whoa. And they get a paycheck.
When Courtney does Courtney TV, which is what I call it. She gets all the best Instagram videos for me. And then right before we watch a movie at night, sometimes she'll show me all the videos that she has, all the funny videos. And sometimes it'll be just somebody reacting. And like Sabrina said, they're just pointing like, oh, my God, oh, my. And you go, you didn't even do anything. You didn't have any words in this video.
But here I am watching it.
Yeah, delete that person. You got to at least add some commentary,
it comes up,
for God's sake.
FYP.
Yeah. All right.
There's a guy that I think I follow him. He annoyed me on the suggestions so many times, but because he started occasionally like doing actual interesting music stuff where he would like show you where samples and come from and stuff, and he did the work. He does the editing. But sometimes he just gets lazy and it's just like, here's a crazy video. And it's just him in his chair next to his laptop going,
just pointing up.
Yeah. He's just like, never doing anything. Like, it could be just a default one that you use over and over and over with the same reaction. We're like,
oh, absolutely.
What? Huh? No way.
I can't believe that guy did that.
Oh, please tell me that you saw what I sent you guys this morning.
I don't know.
In the
Did
courtroom with the AI.
No, I didn't actually. I meant to watch that.
It is so funny. And this is like the USA Today's, like, I don't know, intro story to it. So I'm hoping that we could find the extended version. But,
damn.
I mean, I don't want to.
Hold on.
I'll
we can do
present
that
the
for
story
jury
to you.
duty, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's jury
in the
duty.
courtroom.
Let's get into it. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the news junkie.
Crazy, man. You just improv and jury duty.
I know. It's wild like that.
A jazz player.
Did you do this on Monday, too?
No.
Completely create stories out of nowhere and then hope with all hope in the world that the people on the show with you don't call out that you've just started a story that didn't occur in a courtroom at all. That was like...
No, I made sure, Sean.
Oh, by the way, every time I say this word, I confuse people on chat. I guess I should dial it down. I've been trying to get better with using words that make the most sense. But when I say lavalier mics, I mean like the little mics that a reporter might clip on to their...
Wait, what's wrong with lavalier? Who's taking
every
issue?
time I say lavalier mics, people don't think... They think it's like a brand of mic I'm talking about or something. It's a little like microphone that you clip onto yourself. That is a lavalier.
And why are you guys losing your minds? Any audio person knows what that is.
Yes.
I guess they don't know. Like Fritz would know what that was right off the bat, right off the jump. Fritz, a man
lavaliers
who did a soundtrack for a movie. How cool is that, for God's sake?
And up for an award for it.
That's crazy. It's not shocking, but it's crazy.
It was shocking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, all right, here's the music. And then when they were listening back, one guy goes, all right, I see what you did, Zimmer, like Hans Zimmer. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then
Fritz Zimmer.
They were like, okay, that's really, really good music. I was like, whatever, you guys are just saying that. And then I get nominated for best score.
You know, it's a really interesting gig. Have you seen that Trent Reznor has really fallen into that?
Oh, he's amazing.
world?
Him and Atticus Ross.
Yeah, they kind of gotten into like just being very, very... musical and artsy, like clashing together and creating these soundtracks. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress. Let's get to the story here. Here's what Sabrina sent over. Hang on. Let me bring this up over on TikTok.com. And this is allegedly something that took place in a courtroom.
It's so great.
It says the first judicial blah, 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 Supreme Court of something. And a man gets in trouble by the judge for something that he did in the courtroom.
Yes.
All right? Here we go. Hang on. I got like 100 pop-ups.
This is via Zoom, I guess?
May it please the court. I come here today a humble pro se before a panel.
Okay. He's using AI.
So great. The guy's there in person as well. But he's like, my attorney is here via Zoom. And not only did he use AI, but he went like, didn't go back and edit. The AI picked the, like, I don't know, courtroom TV drama from 1980.
No way.
AI script. May it please the court, per se, to be...
Hold on. This guy pops up the AI, and he's there, so she's yelling at him in person?
Yes, but he pops this, like, video up saying it's his attorney.
All right.
Court. I come here today a humble pro se before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this... Hold on.
He paused it.
Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
I generated that.
I'm sorry?
I generated that.
That is not a real person.
Good music.
Okay,
So
it would have been nice to know that when you made your application.
Yeah, buddy.
You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally. In the past, you have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes. Okay? I don't appreciate being misled. If you want to have oral argument time, you may stand up and
This
give it.
music, man.
So much. That's what I wanted to find.
I was expecting to hear the voiceover go, Tammy and Jake have started a business where they are making new organic nipples for babies.
Hey,
Yeah,
Sharks.
that's where my mind went.
The moment he played that AI, I mean, from a million miles away, and on top of it, the script was like a robot made it.
Okay, this is legit. It's from the Associated Press. An AI
You think I send you
avatar
fake news?
tried to argue a case before a New York court. The judges weren't having it. And it says, it took only seconds for the judges on a New York appeals court to realize the man addressing them from a video screen, a person about to present an argument in a lawsuit, not only didn't have a law degree, but didn't exist at all. And they said the video screen showed a smiling, youthful-looking man with a sculpted hairdo, button-down shirt, and a sweater.
Distinguished judges.
They cut him off in the middle of his presentation. The guy later wrote an apology to the court saying he didn't intend any harm. He didn't have a lawyer representing him in the lawsuit, so he had to present his legal arguments himself, and he felt the avatar would be able to deliver the presentation without his usual mumbling, stumbling, and tripping over words.
Right.
So he got in trouble. Cannot do that. They're a little upset about the AI lawyers.
Is he breaking a law, though?
I think
That's
you
a
have to
question
have
for
somebody.
Mo. Yeah, I guess it has to be a human, right? Like somebody who has passed the bar.
But
And,
then again, when you represent yourself, which I just saw, what's her face? Vallow?
Mhm.
Yeah,
She's
Lori
representing-
Day Vallow.
She's representing herself now.
Yeah,
in
she
court,
is.
And it is beautiful.
She's
She's
bonkers.
She's what you call nuts.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
all sorts of going
If you
crackers. over
drank
there.
every time they said objection, you would be blacked out for the first 15 minutes of their
Dangerous
life.
game.
Mhm.
Sean,
Okay.
you think what I'm thinking?
What's that?
Let's play
try
this
it.
game.
Yeah,
Let's
go.
play this game.
LFG, baby.
Gonna be a wild Wednesday. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll get back to these emails. We'll get to more of what's happening with the markets that are just out of control. It's a
Doing
wild,
their
wild
thing.
day. And we'll keep you in touch with everything you need to know here on a lovely Wednesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Congratulations, you just won $1,000.
Let's go. Oh, nice.
If these are the words you've been waiting to hear, keep listening for your chance to win. Our Grand in Your Hand contest returns Monday, April 14th, and is
Skull Mike. What do you think about what's happening with the markets? You excited? You think it's good? You think it's bad? You think it's weak? A sign of weakness? Sign of great strategy? We still need to make up more ground, by the way. Even if today closed up 2,000 or something, still got a lot of ground to make up. Going to need that for the rest of the week. But if on Friday, the Trump administration could go like, look, here's the advances we made on trade deals. Here's how things are going to be better. Here's how much more revenue it's going to bring into the United States. Here's how much more fair everything is. And by the way, the market earned all those losses back. I think it might poll well. Even if you don't like them, I think it might poll well. Also, I want to talk about, when we come back, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony with a K. This is the guy who stabbed the other guy at the track meet. Hello?
What are you talking about?
Let's talk about the stabbing
Oh,
in the stock markets.
I got hot dog buns.
Oh, okay. Are we having hot dogs tonight?
No, you just have extra dogs, so I got you some buns.
I know, but isn't that the scam that you always are chasing, trying to get an even amount of hot dogs and buns?
You didn't like the dogs on the rice.
No, hot dogs on rice is not as good. The hot dog is too greasy.
So then we'll have extra buns, and then we'll have to get extra buns.
That's what I'm saying. And then round and round you go, and then you get the extra hot dogs, and you got extra buns.
Yeah.
And the hot dog bun, the monopoly that they have, or the what is it? The hot dog, big hot dog, and big bun, big dog and big bun. It's trying to the industrial complex of hot dog. Okay, what else did you get? Anything good?
They're still on my lean cuisines.
They're out?
So.
You probably put them out.
No.
Did you get my chicken?
Yeah, they were 3 for something.
And what are we having for dinner?
Chicken marsala.
Chicken marsala?
Mm-hmm.
I like chicken marsala.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
All right, big dog.
See you later, little dog. That's
I
all right.
have to be the bun. I can't be a
No,
dog.
you're not the bun.
Yeah, haven't you seen
I'm big dog and you're little dog.
What's the animated one with the food?
Do you want to be big dog?
No, I want to be the little bun.
Nobody's the bun.
No,
There's,
you big dog on little bun.
no, this is just this big dog and little dog.
No,
There's not any
Lady's little dog.
No, that is not in this equation. What was I even talking about? What was I even talking about? Carmelo Anthony. Why are people giving him money? That's one question. The other question is, there's no big dog, little bun, right? Like, that's not a thing. You go big dog, and then somebody like, oh, little dog. There are 2 dogs, and then one's like, hey, what's up, big dog? And it's like, you could also call, hey, you could say big dog back to the person, but that's kind of stilted conversation. So you'd be like, what's up, homie, playa? Or what's up, little dog? Am I getting this wrong? Somebody says, do they chatter nonsensically like that all the time? What are you talking about nonsensically? It was a conversation. Is that nonsense to you? And also, do you have a partner? What do you talk about the stuff that's going on in the world? I'm big dog, I'm talking to little dog, and we talk about what's happening in our world. Seems pretty normal to me. Lil Bun is weird, though. Lil Bun is just like, honestly, hot take, Lil Bun's got like some pedo vibes. Like, hey, what's up, big dog? Hey, what's up, little bun? Like, doesn't that come across kind of 5-alarm fire creepy? Weird. Sunshine State says, do you think the talking door will ever get mad at me? Courtney? Don't call her the talking door. That's a way worse insult than little dog. The talking door? Her name is Courtney, okay? The talking door. Unbelievable. Vicky says, I love talking door. Well, don't keep calling her that. Her name is Courtney, for God's sake. All right, coming back right now. Coming back.
Call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit justcallmo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Because therapy's expensive, and we have microphones. This is the new.
We're hanging out, the three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day with our friend Fritz. And you can join along. Go to thenewsjunkie.com/share to follow the show. Is Fritz your friend? Is he on the record as being your friend?
Oh, you bet your ass. In fact, what are we doing Sunday night?
That's not the theme song. The Last of Us watch party. Do you guys want to come?
What was that version of the theme song?
It sounded like she was singing the Twilight Zone.
I have to be honest. I don't know if I've ever mouthed the T-Lou theme.
Hey, am I the only one that was watching the White Lotus show, and every damn episode when that intro kicks off, it's a pretty beautiful intro. The intro is like kind of beautiful, but the song is not the same, number one. And it's so long. The intros to some of these shows now are like...
skip it.
Skip all day.
We do too, but it's like 1:20 or something.
Here's the deal.
Holy cow.
Streaming service people listening, the execs, give us the button that says skip all intros.
Yeah, you could do that.
Maybe watch the first one, but if you're going to be binging, all the season, and I don't want to press the button every time.
I thought there was maybe one of the streaming services that did that, or maybe I'm thinking of the recap. I think
Plex
that if you're doing back-to-back episodes on some of these, it'll skip the recap automatically.
Plex does if you got Plex Pro. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Wait, Plex Pro? Wait, you pay for Plex?
You don't?
I can't go on the record talking about this necessarily.
I didn't ask whether or not you paid for the content. I meant,
whoa! I pay for all of the things I watched, like the movie that I watched last night. The movie that I watched last night, which I 100% paid for, it was maybe one of the more boring movies I've ever seen in my life.
What movie was that?
They took a beautiful story, Sabrina, a beautiful, true story, okay? And maybe you guys could find the wiki entry on this and bring it up, but it was called The Accidental Getaway Driver. Have you heard of this at all? No, okay. There's a movie, I think it might have been made by some folks out of Vietnam and filmed in America. And it's about this Vietnamese American guy who's like a gypsy cab driver type.
Whoa, Sean, we don't. That's
black cab
racist.
No, just unlicensed.
Unlicensed cab driver, gypsy cab, whatever. And
double down.
And the Vietnamese guy is an old man who's driving this car.
Oh no.
He gets a call and he wants to turn it down. He's like, no, I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. I'm not going to spoil anything, by the way. It's just the premise of the thing.
Sounds like or starting to.
It's in the title of the movie, The Accidental Getaway Driver. I wonder what the movie's about. So he turns down these calls that are persistent and nagging at him. And then he finally answers one because they keep going. And the guy goes, we'll pay you double. It'll only take you a second. Just come over here. And he picks up these guys and he accidentally becomes their getaway driver. And it's about all the things that happen after that. It's this gorgeous story about being in a prisoner of war, a POW camp, and about Vietnam, and about being in prisons in America, and about family, and about all. And it's told in the most boring way I think I've ever seen in my life.
Good thing you got it for free.
Oh, I didn't get it for free. Rented that sucker. Because you know why?
Why?
Can you see this right here? You see this?
Shirt.
Big heart. Big heart that I have.
That's not where you're.
If it's an independent production, I'll pay for it every single time. If it's an independent, low-budget production, I'll pay for it every single time.
But once you did pay for it, you're like, I should have gotten this for free.
I should have stolen this.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
If
I
it were
would
something
download
like
a car.
If it were like
waste of money.
The Assessment or Opus, F, Marry, Kill, any of those.
If you don't mind.
I love that he has access to it. I would love that login information, please.
If you don't mind.
My stocks are going down the drain. I'd love to see some free movies.
Are they? They're coming back right now, man. I'm looking at it. 2,400 points or so up.
That's everybody.
It's a roller coaster
your
now.
Portfolio.
Now it's 2,289 points in the positive.
Anymore.
Just for the record, here's what's happened. Trump put a pause for like 90 days on all the other countries except for China so they can make a deal. Focused on China solely with even more tariffs up to 125%. So we're going to go to war with China in a tariff battle, which is much more sensible than every single other country on the planet right now. And the markets reacted to that very, very positively so far. However, we didn't recoup all of the stock losses that we've seen over the last 5 days. Now, I'll say, and some of your resistance types might not like this, but I don't care. I just got to be real. If we can get to Friday and somehow, some way, and this would be a bit of a miracle, but if we can get to Friday and we will have recouped all of those losses in the markets and people will be like, okay, my 401k is back where it was or maybe even higher or something. And then the Trump administration could say, here are the deals we got out of this. We got better deals for tariffs and we got better trade deals arranged with all these very important countries. And now we're going to try to sort out our imbalanced, not fair trade deals with China. I don't see how polling-wise that's anything less than a W for the Trump administration. Now, there's a lot of ifs in there. But if that happens...
He's doing a parlay.
Yeah,
more parlay action.
Generating a problem and then solving it? Sure. Yeah, it works every time.
Yes, Fritz. Yes, generating a problem and solving it.
Wag the dog.
If the outcome is something that puts you in a better place than you were beforehand, all right?
Wag the dog.
Your point is fair that you're generating a problem, yes, but if the problem that you generated puts you in a better position afterwards, and that's a big if right now, it's still a win. And trust me when I say people who are like, just ask polling questions and voters and stuff will see that as a win. If they don't get that back and things end up chaotic like they are kind of now, we're on a roller coaster, then that's a big fat loss. And people will probably
But when are we
not
making that
forgive
call?
anybody.
I don't think we can do it within the minutes.
No,
Is it
not
after
now.
90 days?
No, I would say within the next couple of weeks. Like the markets are either going to go up or go down, obviously. There's only a couple of choices here.
What about after a quarter?
People have taken a beating in the last week or so. If they get that back, they'll have more trust in this strategy. So, and I think this could have been done in a lot of other ways, and I think it could have been done in smarter ways. But all I care about, literally, I told you this over and over and over again, I don't care about Republican or Democrat or left or right. All I care about is outcomes. Outcomes are the only thing that I'm guided by. Better outcomes for every single one of us on this show. Better outcomes for every single person who's listening to me right now. More money for you, a better financial future. I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican or anybody. That's what I'm looking for. So we don't have that right now, but it'll be interesting to watch what happens in the next week or so to see if that's a win or not. Let's go to this in the meantime. Sterling. That's a great, strong name. Sterling C. We don't need to say your last name. Has a question for Fritz to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
All right.
I think the scoring for Fritz on the street should be adjusted. God, do they always try to backseat driver Fritz on this?
And sometimes I listen.
I don't know if you should listen to this one, but I'll tell you anyways. You tell me what you think about it, Fritz. I think the scoring for Fritz on the street should be adjusted such that the winner of the week only gets 1 point on the aggregate.
Okay.
Make it about the win, not the score. That will keep the scoring closer and make it competition for longer. Shane, Scene, Sean, whatever, typically does not win by much, so C-Lane winning big will take weeks to catch up, says Sterling. Thoughts, Fritz?
I mean, sorry, I won't answer for you. We're all very close right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the name of the game.
I think it's a dumb idea. Yeah, I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think that's very fun.
Block his email,
be
please.
rewarding you guys for chiming in early and also getting the answer and also guessing how many other people got it right.
Also, when you do the score on the year,
But, hey,
it doesn't sound impressive.
No, not at all.
Like,
I also
the score on the
appreciate
year is,
that email, though. I just wanted
the score on the year is 15 to 16 to 4. No, that's like too small. It sounds better when it's like over 100 and stuff.
Yeah, 450.
Yeah, now we're talking. All right, anonymous emails to show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
I think you should adjust the score, Fritz.
Anonymous says, tiny bit of background here.
I do think he gave Sabrina an extra point somewhere in there.
I went through a terrible, bitter divorce, Anonymous says.
You skipped that part of that guy's email.
I skipped what part?
That he said I should get an extra point.
Can you guys fight about this off air? Can you fight about this on your own? Because none of this is happening and none of this is true. Nobody in the email mentioned. I read the entirety of the email from Sterling to you guys, so you know exactly what he said. There's nothing more. Anonymous emails the show. Third time's a charm. Tiny bit of background, they said. I went through a terrible, bitter divorce that involved a child, and I went to pick her up one day.
What?
After a little discussion, my ex-wife got the idea that I was going to be exercising my weekend visitation instead of just a lunch. My ex-wife decided it would be a good idea to grab the 5-year-old out of my arms, which I resisted, and she started biting my arm.
Oh, my God.
With a closed fist, I hit her once on the top of her head to get her to let go, and she did. Our stories matched when the police got there, but it was since I was at her house, I was the one who went to jail for 2 days until I got bail.
Because he went over there, I guess?
I guess so, yeah. It was on her territory.
Oh, that's a rough one.
So I was given no fine and time served, but was ordered to anger management weekly for 6 months. A bunch of people sitting in a circle, dudes with road rage who beat their families, who stabbed people, and then me. A bunch of take a breath and count to 10 when you get angry BS. When I told the story of why I was there, half the guys didn't believe me. The other half looked at me and asked why I was there, including the person facilitating the meetings. After a month of meetings, the teacher asked me to stay after one night and told me she'd been doing this for decades and there was no reason for me to be there. She would sign off on the rest of the classes, but I obviously need to save paper for another 5 months before turning it into the court. Thank you, Anonymous. I don't know. I mean, we were getting into this earlier, Fritz. What do you think about things like anger management? Do you think that can work with all these people we see road raging, boat raging out there? Do you think that can actually change a person?
I like therapy. I was actually talking to a friend of mine who's a vet, and I recommended therapy. I think it works.
Brock Horner. He was talking to his friend Brock Horner.
That's
I think it works, so I would recommend it, yes. But you have to work on yourself. It's not like you just get the answer from someone who is a non-participant, and then you go, you're wrong, and then get angry. You have to work on what they're saying.
So you think then, Fritz, that somebody like this boat guy or anybody else who's just prone to explosion, I always envision them like in Inside Out, which is such a great movie because it kind of visualizes emotions for you. The angry flame guy and people who just snap at these like road rage interactions and stuff. You think that those people can get help and that like that kind of stuff does work on them?
Yes, if they want to get help, because you know how many times
you have to want to.
Yeah, you probably know someone who might indulge in a certain substance too much. If they don't want help, they're not getting help.
True. Yeah, you can't help somebody if they're not ready to.
I'm right here.
Thank you.
We share a screen, Fritz.
All right, one more real quick.
It starts with you, C-Lane, okay?
Actually, we'll save this for a moment. I'll say that for later on in the show. We were talking about, and I teased in jury duty, this whole story, and I'm not sure how much everybody's been following this, but let me give you the key players. There's a young kid, a teenager named Austin Metcalf. He was a high school star athlete, they say. He was at a track and field event for his school, and he was under the tent for his school when he encountered a 17-year-old by the name of Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo with a K, Anthony. That 17-year-old was underneath the home team or the guest, underneath the guest tent at the event. And Austin Metcalf told Carmelo Anthony, whether he should have or should have just minded his own business is a different question, but he did. He told Carmelo Anthony, hey, you're in the wrong place. This is the visitor tent. Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old, said, touch me and see what happens. It's according to the witnesses there. And then something transpired, and then he put his hand on Carmelo Anthony, and Metcalf is the young guy's name, Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf put his hand on Carmelo Anthony, and Carmelo Anthony took a black knife out of his bag and stabbed him in the heart, and he ended up dying. Now, Carmelo Anthony denies none of this. He simply says, I did it. I'm not what did he call himself? Not the suspected or not the alleged?
I'm not alleged. I did it.
I'm not alleged. I did it. And he said, I was defending myself from the jump.
Asked if he was okay.
Yeah, I said, is the guy doing all right?
There was something else. Like the one witness account that you had mentioned yesterday was we saw him grab something out of his bag and say, don't put your hands on me. And that's when it all went down because they didn't think.
Yeah. The witness said that, hey, we didn't think he actually had a weapon.
Yeah. That's what.
Which implies that everybody around was thinking that his hand was in the bag because they thought a weapon was there. They just thought he was bluffing on that. But he wasn't. Now, the problem is Carmelo Anthony, this 17-year-old who stabbed and killed the other guy, you can't just say, I told you not to touch me, and you touched me, so I killed you. You can't say that. That might work in your head with your logic, but it doesn't work in a court of law. They're in a damn state among the 50 where they'll let you go in and say, hey, I told him not to touch me. He touched me, so I killed him. You get what you get. F around and find out. Doesn't work that way. However, there is an official fundraising effort for the 17-year-old who stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf. And let me try to bring this up in real time. It's not from GoFundMe. It's not that one. It's something called Give, Send, Go.
Oh.
That sounds like just Venmo.
I've never heard.
Anthony, I'm going to try to bring this up. Give, Send, Go, I think, has a few less rules. This is the Help Carmelo
Do they
official
take just
fund.
as much, though?
They're trying to raise $350,000 for the guy who stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf.
Wow, that looks a lot like GoFundMe, though.
It does.
I'll just
Same
say,
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And this one's just not as regulated. I think GoFundMe would literally take this down. I think they would say, like, this is a person charged with killing somebody else. We can't really support that. So the goal is $350,000. It's raised for the guy who stabbed and killed somebody else, $281,000.
Jeez.
And I'm trying to see, like, why? Why would you donate to this? Yeah, but why? If there's no reason to believe that this guy is anything other than a murderer, why are you donating to his account? We haven't heard anything.
Because we saw the video yesterday from the woman that basically said that this is a cut and dry, F around and find out situation, regardless of the law, saying that you should not, escalate a situation that far. You can't have somebody, bump shoulders with you and you turn around and shoot him in the face. This woman that we watched on, I think it was TikTok or something yesterday.
Yeah.
She said this was very cut and dry and that he was defending himself and that there is no other explanation that she will take as fact. And
no, she said he had it coming, in fact.
Yeah, because he, whatever he did, he touched him after he was told not to touch him. So I think that there are many, many, many more of that woman. And those are the people who are saying this is a clear-cut case of self-defense.
You know what? If this is self-defense, George Zimmerman and Trajan ain't got nothing on what you're about to see next. Because if you could say, don't touch me, and somebody touches you and you can stab them in the heart and kill them,
Ooh, yeah,
we're in a weird spot. And then the people who are kind of donating to this guy, I find them to be interesting. So I want to see, when we come back, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look through the people who are donating because some of it's public and they have messages and stuff along with them to see what they're saying is the reasoning for them doing this. All right, so we'll get to that. We'll check back in with the markets. We got a lot of stuff to touch on. We probably won't even get to all of it, unfortunately, but we'll do our best. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Traffic starting to pile up on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area between the Beach Line and Osceola Parkway. There's a crash on Apopka Vineland Road where it meets Conroy Windermere Road. Look out for an accident on Old Winter Garden Road near Kirkman Road. Authorities are clearing up an accident where Narcoossee Road meets Tyson Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic feet all-purpose garden soil. Valid through 4/16. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Spring is in the air, and that means it's time to search your ace off. The Jim Colbert Show has teamed up with Tools Ace Hardware and TK Law for the 2025 edition of our Big Green Egg Hunt. Starting Tuesday, April 15th, listen to The Jim Colbert Show for the clues on where in Central Florida you can find this hidden treasure. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, will be to decipher the poem and search your ace off. And the hidden treasure is a certificate for a big green egg with accessories courtesy of Tools Ace Hardware. And new this year, the prize will also include estate planning package courtesy of TK Law. Total prize value is over $3,800. Go to realradio.fm/ace for the poem with the clues and keep listening to The Jim Colbert Show weekdays at 3 p.m. for additional hints. Special thanks to Tools Ace Hardware and TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. This contest ends when someone finds our big green egg. Happy hunting.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer. First 50 callers get a free True Scene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit. Call now. 407-337-5569.
This is it, the free event you've been waiting for. The Leesburg Bike Fest presented by Progressive, April 25th to 27th. A weekend packed with high-octane fun and rock and roll. Catch headliners Dirty Honey, Lit, Fuel, and the Marshall Tucker Band. Experience the Wall of Death, Pro Action Wrestling, 20 local bands, and more. There's something for everyone. Visit LeesburgBikeFest.com today to upgrade your experience with Sonny's Barbecue VIP passes. Sponsor.
For possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit lifelock.com. That's lifelock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
This is big.
Rent-A-Center's biggest discount is on. From April 6th to April 12th, take 50% off the total cost to own on all items in-store or online. Only at Rent-A-Center. 50% off offer reduces the total amount necessary to acquire ownership pursuant to rental purchase agreement. Offer valid on new agreements entered into April 6, 2025 through April 12, 2025. Participating locations only.
Calling all crime junkies. Ashley Flowers and Britt Praywat are taking their true crime podcast on the road in this once-in-a-lifetime live show. Crime Junkie, Life Rule Number 10 Tour. The beloved voices behind the #1 podcast are bringing their signature storytelling to Orlando with a chilling, never-before-covered homicide. Friday, April 18th at Edition Financial Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Crime Junkie, Life Rule Number 10 Tour. Produced by Outback Presents.
You don't know what you're missing until you see the difference. Imagine waking up and seeing clearly. No glasses, no contacts, just crystal clear vision. At the Philatowski Eye Institute, we make that dream a reality. Experience the freedom of life without lenses. Your best vision is waiting. Schedule your free consultation today with the Philatowski Eye Institute. Simply dial pound 250 and say better vision. That's pound 250, keyword better vision. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Roger Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
12 years in solitary.
Broke out of jail more than you ever fixed in Canada.
The Go Boy podcast is the gritty true crime story of daring prison escapes, risky bank robberies, and swift police arrests. And the man who fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable to go from an ex-con to a best-selling author almost overnight. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Go Boy, and start listening today.
Mainlining today's top stories. You're listening to the News Junkie, Sean Wasson.
On the website, go to thenewsjunkie.com/share.
Speaking of sharing, Jeff just shared something with me, and I just sent it to you guys. And
right.
I don't know. I'm going to relate it to what's happening with the stock market.
Okay.
But boy, did it bring some levity.
This going to be some sort of wild ride here?
It's a clip from the 90s. A news story covered this this wedding that's all parachuters. And it went swimmingly.
All I see is that this is on a show called Totally Outrageous Behavior.
It's one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
Let's see.
The wedding party now. First to land is the usher.
Oh, God.
Takes the seat right next to a busy highway. Now comes Dave, the best man.
Parachuting. Oh, my God. Is that real?
He just pinballed between two cars.
He does an interview shortly after this, and it's like a Tim Robinson
Somebody
character.
call the ambulance.
Real.
Holy cow.
Good.
Skydive Wedding sounded better on paper than it is here in practice.
Hold on, you have to see his.
All right.
So lucky.
I did a little bit of damage to the car.
When Dave hit the car, that's when I thought the day was over.
But it's not over. The groom is ready to make his grand entrance.
Oh, God. He crashed into a tree. What the hell?
I did a little bit of damage.
And still married today, I'm sure.
Fritz, missed opportunity to do this at your wedding. You really could have swooped right in there.
At Lou Gardens.
Is that even...
Take down some beautiful trees or something.
Right into their
Here comes
cactus
the groom.
Exhibition. No.
Is it even legal to parachute down by busy highways like that? It seems very irresponsible at the very least.
You could do whatever you wanted in the early 90s, Sealand.
Listen to this guy, a fun sucker over here.
Yeah,
is it actually
I'm
legal?
a fun sucker. Yeah, okay.
Is it actually legal to do this?
You know what? Forget about it. Let's move on. Thanks, Sealand.
But watch it 4 more times or whenever you're sad, because it is so great.
That second guy really... Folks, I'll try to put this... Hang on. I'll do it. Think
Please.
about it. Hold on. Let's see. The second guy, was it the best man that was second? The second guy hit that car so hard that there's just like no way that he could have walked away and done a wedding
they showed
after
at the
that.
end, too.
It blows out the windows.
There he is. Bum.
He hit one car and bounced off it and then hit another. And Jesus. All right, I'm going to put this up right now as I'm blabbing.
It's
I'm
like
yapping.
when you park next to someone at like Publix. You only have like 2.5 feet, but like between doors. He hit right in between it and just went digga.
He smashed both of them.
But it made me so happy. I forgot all the troubles of the world.
Couldn't just try to land on top of one of the cars? You had to
when you're going 60 miles an hour?
All right, wedding intro crash is what it says over on See It Now. Thank you for that, Fritz. Yeah, it made me feel better. I feel better about myself. Now I'll go look at the stock market. It was just up 2,700, now 2,500.
Yeah.
It's moving around, rocking and rolling in different directions.
Kind of like the best man.
And yeah, it's like the crash landing of the best man in between the cars in the parking lot. So we got that going for us. Donald Trump putting a pause on tariffs for everybody except for China and ramping those ones up. And the next couple of days will be interesting to watch. Do we keep going up, or do people say this is too much chaos? We can't deal with this. I don't know. And everybody else is just pretending, as I told you before.
Do you think Elon, maybe there was a behind-the-scenes conversation where somebody went to President Trump and said, hey, this tariff thing is not going over well with some people.
Well,
what are our options here? To go, listen, just,
chill.
Flip it around.
Make this a China thing. And then just ramp up theirs, and then just pause everybody else's, and everybody like, whoa, that was a good idea.
Blame
I
China.
think so. Look, Elon Musk had been criticizing a lot of the finance people that were pushing this tariff policy for the last couple of days on Twitter/X. And he had been saying that he doesn't support this. And it had been an interesting break between their like buddy-buddy relationship. Elon has been very, 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 very pro-Trump.
Don?
And they've been like first buddies or whatever. And this was a break in that. And I thought, was this the friction that's going to send these guys into different orbits? Or maybe did he cut through here and say, dude, what I said was Americans will put up with a couple of days bleeding, but Americans will not put up with day after day after day after day after day after day, like a week and a half straight of 1,000-point losses of the stock market, and therefore their 401ks and their investments for their future.
$6 trillion.
That's a lot of money. And people, obviously, even like ardent supporters of Trump aren't going to put up with that. Now you have a turnaround. Now maybe this swings it, but you don't have enough yet. You don't have enough yet. You only have 1 day's worth, and I don't even know what it'll close up. Because yesterday was on top for most of the day, and then it closed because of the China tariffs. Still closed down on the day several hundred, 300 or so points. So, yeah, Elon Musk broke with Trump on that, but now maybe they're matched back up. I don't know.
I'm seeing on the Chiron, raises tariff on Chinese goods to 125%.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought you said 84.
It was 84% this morning.
Oh, okay.
So
no, I thought China raised theirs to 84.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. China raised theirs to 84 because we doubled ours against China. They responded by raising it to 84.
Math.
No. I'm just trying to think of order rather than math. I think China may have responded to the 104% tariffs with the 84% tariff, but it doesn't really matter. They're up and up and up and going further. But now at least it's kind of dialed in on one country that is going to be the bad guy in the trade war. All right. Let's look at fundraising here for this story about Austin Metcalf.
What funds, John?
Getting stabbed. People are still somehow donating. And Austin Metcalf, the guy who was stabbed and killed, his family has raised $309,980 on GoFundMe.
That's just in one of them. There's another one that has an additional $146,000. So all in over $450K raised for the family of Austin Metcalf.
So $450,000 on GoFundMe for the guy who got stabbed and killed. And the guy that did the stabbing,
what is going on with your computer, man?
That's not me. That's the website, bud.
This is weird. Please
give send go. Maybe they're under a DDoS attack. Hang on, I'll bring up another tab. We can handle this. We can make this happen.
Give send go. Just realized that you were on GoFundMe.
It just went go.
No, get away from it.
No, they're under attack. It's a DDoS attack right now. Literally, see, it's 500 server error ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Somebody is going after the site maybe for funding for the guy who stabbed and killed
weird.
Austin Metcalf. Yeah, you're watching like an actual web attack in real time going on right now.
Are you sure they're not attacking you, Sean?
No, it ain't me. It's just them because I could see the error coming up and I could see the Cloudflare thing.
Yeah.
So what?
Ryan Adams is flipping out right now.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's get away from that. There we go. Let's go. Okay, a lot of people, by the way, were talking about Ryan Adams earlier.
Yeah.
And they were saying, Ryan Adams plays this song, you dummies. Ryan Adams plays this song, you dummies. And every song that they said was a song from Bryan Adams.
Exactly. I made that joke yesterday.
Every person got it wrong, but they all really thought they were going to correct somebody over here.
And just I don't remember.
Just to be honest, I'm biased because I don't like the guy. I was in a band with a lead singer who tried and wanted to be Ryan Adams so bad.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And it's all he talked about. Isn't it cool? He does cocaine. I'm like, no.
So does everybody.
You're more team Bryan Adams than Ryan Adams?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm Bryan Adams all day.
By the way, before Rammstein was taken down because allegedly, sexual assault from their lead singer, Till Lindemann, which I still believe, but, no proof. Bryan Adams took the album cover of their last album, Zeit.
Okay.
The 80s singer, Bryan Adams.
He took their album cover?
Took the photo.
Oh, he took the picture.
I thought he stole it after. He's like, well, that guy's getting accused of sexual assault. I'll just take the picture.
That's a crazy trivia question to me.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant
that for next week.
I thought you meant Bryan Adams put out another album that just used their album cover.
Sang in German.
Hang on, I said that 7 different ways wrong. I thought Bryan Adams put out another album and used their album cover as
that would
his.
be crazy.
With all this news coming out about Ryan Adams, though, I imagine a good little spike for Bryan Adams.
Yeah, maybe. Jeff on YouTube says, that is not a DDoS. The page would not be available. Jeff, you're wrong, but thank you for being confident in it. I literally saw the Cloudflare error popping up.
Yeah, shut up, Jeff.
Saying that there is a DDoS attack on this site. It was the Cloudflare error, and if you don't know what that is, you probably don't have an actual website yourself. Tanya says it's the site. Other pages are doing it too. Oh, no.
I'm hyped up.
Right. Yeah. You got anything else to lash out at? Because this is the time for it right now.
Well, I'm sick of it. All of it.
Sick of what?
Everyone's bad attitudes.
Yeah, that's true. I
also,
agree.
you ever seen a
grown man naked?
As a matter of fact, I did.
End of the show's getting weird. We're getting there. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Oh, I'm already there.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and of course, today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this week.
The upper 70s, just shy of 80 degrees today with a high of 79. We'll see a good amount of sunshine, just a couple of fair weather cumulus clouds. But as we look ahead towards the end of the week, temperatures will be warming back up to right around the mid-80s. Still overall mostly dry, a couple of coastal showers possible. Cold front Friday, though, helps us return to the 70s for highs this weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber. HOA and condo board members. Fiber internet has never been easier. Blue Stream Fiber simplifies the switch, helping your community save up to 50% while keeping residents happy. Their step-by-step process makes upgrading hassle-free. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio today.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
When it comes to replacing your roof, father and son know best. That's why FAS Exteriors is Orlando's #1 window, door, and roof contractor. You can count on fair pricing, install perfection, and customer satisfaction every time. When it's time for roof replacement, see for yourself why customers in Orlando trust the leader in FAS Exteriors. Because father and son really do know what's best. Schedule your free consultation now at FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Future health, weight loss.
Want to lose 10 pounds by next month? You need to go to Future.
Final score, Mike. Folks, I must say it's been a pleasant stream. It's been a roller coaster ride, as promised. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know if we're going to get more money back or lose more or fight with other countries or if something different entirely will distract us or what will happen in any of the stories that we've been talking about. But we do hope you're going to be with us. Who's our chatter of the day? Our chatter of the day. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think you've already gotten chatter of the day. I believe you've already received chatter of the day. Lynette. Lynette on YouTube is our chatter of the day. Lynette on YouTube is our chatter of the day. The haters say she couldn't do it. Lynette, congratulations. You're the best of the best. You're the best around. Nothing is ever going to keep you down. You're the best around. Lynette is possibly getting married now. It's a big, big day. But we got to wrap things up on the stream. Love you. See you later. See you later. See you later. I was going to ask you who you're rating on Twitch, actually. That's where that was in my brain. Who you're rating on Twitch. See you later and later. Goodbye, goodbye.
For perfect fit. No interest financing is available. Visit EustaceRoofing.com to schedule your free estimate.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll explain how the sport of basketball was invented to lead people to God. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
If you ever need to talk, he'll pretend to listen. You're listening to the News Junkie.
Wrap everything up for a Wednesday. Thanks for being with us. We've had some fun with you today.
Good times.
If you want to catch up and miss any of the show, you can get that podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. You never know what's going to happen on the show. You never know what's going to happen in the world. It's the beauty of what we do here. So we hope you'll keep hanging out with us in days in the future, including tomorrow, Friday, and on through the rest of the year. And if you do, thank you. If you don't, well, it was good to have you while we did. And I'll also say big thanks to Either Way, Keep Drinking himself, Fritz. Thank you for being here today.
A gentleman.
Either way, keep drinking is quote, which was a very good one today. Could put that on a shirt and sell 1 million of them.
Oh, that's him telling you he's going to put it on a shirt and sell it.
Yeah, you should.
Swimming in the money.
Dude, that should be the new T&J shirt, next round.
I like it. It's catchy. Either way, keep drinking.
I will donate it to you right now. It's yours.
We'll put that out there. It's definitely a great saying. And it works so well with all the things happening in the world. But all right, here's what we're going to do. We'll do the final dispatches first.
People will be buying that.
I guess. What, you're sober?
No.
Oh.
By no means. But we do have
you
a lot
have to say it like that.
No, but I imagine we got a good chunk of people, and thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate your journey.
Yeah. Well, they're probably drinking those weed sodas you were talking about earlier. There's something for everybody.
Ones? The weird ones that C-Lane's going to buy because they're at ABC?
Well, ABC is a reputable store.
All right.
They sell fine wine and spirits.
Back it away from the microphone. Guys, have at it.
Oh, no, I think that's...
We're done. I already won.
Yeah,
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
We'll see. We weren't very good about playing, and by we, I mean me. We weren't very good about playing dispatches today on the show, so let's work in as many as we can to the finish line. Here goes nothing. Here's hunting the haunted.
Hey guys, Carl the Ghost Hunter here.
Wow.
You sound like a ghost.
Quick question. About that pork.
I can't do it, Carl. Sorry. Here's booty sweats.
Hey there, junkies. Happy Wednesday. In regards to that earlier dispatcher who, for some reason, brought up 91% income tax rates, the thing is back then, the telephone was all in wires, and there were people hired specifically to move wires into different ports of a switchboard
What's a wire?
for those calls to go through. Since then, we now have telephones that can tell us the entirety of the world's knowledge.
True.
It fits in the palm of our hand, and we can take it anywhere we want.
What a time to be alive.
What's happened since then? Our income tax rates went down.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the dispatch.
I can't tell what side he's on.
Me either.
But I like the dance.
Go whatever team you're supporting, sir. I wanted to get to this dude out of Maryland who was in a mystery. They found this guy dead in the Bahamas, and they don't know what happened to this guy. He's 23 years old. We'll talk about that tomorrow, I think, at some point on the show. It's an interesting case that's developing.
It's not Brett Gardner's son, is it?
No,
that's weird too.
No, that would be that was a wild story out of Costa Rica for sure. And there's been a lot of people after that, Fritz, that have said, "Hey, I'm bringing CO2 sensors with me on vacation."
Yeah,
why not?
1,000% in the cart right now.
Yeah.
Just to have a little plug-in just in case.
They must be selling a ton of them. All right, let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Today I Learned for a Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Today I Learned this movie right here.
Some people settle for the
movie.
The Goofy movie. Love that. A Goofy movie had to be delayed from Thanksgiving 1994 to April 1995. Why? Well, the monitor they were using to capture the film's animation had one single dead pixel in it. And they had to redo a whole bunch of it, like 3/4 of the movie.
Should have ended on that.
Today I Learned this band right here. Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's right. The Red Hot Chili Peppers is correct. Anthony Kiedis, or whatever, that guy used his band's headliner status to force less famous band Mr. Bungle out of playing several big festivals where both bands were going to perform. And why? Mr. Kiedis said that Mr. Bungle's singer imitated his style and he didn't like it.
Mike Patton.
From Faith No More, right?
Yep.
Yeah, great guy. Great voice, actually.
Copycat
Believe it or
here.
not. Yeah, it seems that way. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Fritz.
Thank you.
There you go.